education account open enrollment.
So we have, as with anything, when new RSAs come out and all this, you have to wait for the lawyers to figure it out, the technical advisors to figure it out. We're kind of in that path right now. The education freedom account's going to require us to create a policy. That's going to outline what we want to do. So in a nutshell, there's a resident that lives here and is on an EFA and they want to take calculus. Let's just say that. We can't say no, but we can charge them an amount. So basically, I know we have a policy committee coming up, but I'm gonna have to draft. I prefer to get some guidance and figure out. So we need to determine whether, off the top of my head, I'm just gonna say if a cost per pupil is $18,000, you know, and they're taking 6 classes, we could charge them $3,000 to take a class. Or we might say, well, we don't want to take half of their EFA. We might only want to take $1,000. Now, we also need to decide too, if they want to play basketball, bless you, we got to charge, we got to come up with a fee for extracurricular activities too.
But so I think we need to mention that if I understand this, the issue is an EFA student forfeits the assumed access to all these things living in the town.
Correct.
So they give up the right to all of our extracurricular stuff as being a homeschool student once they accept the EFA money.
They don't, if they have to pay for it.
Well, they can't, yeah.
They can't access.
Entitled to it, like.
By default, students, right, homeschooled can access 50% of our classes and any curricular activity they want and without any question.
Right. But once you take that EFA money.
Yep.
You don't have.
You have
access, right?
So you can determine how much we would like to charge them. If we, it's not if a student wants to come here.
You say we have to charge them?
No, you don't. You could say, I don't want to charge you at all.
So give me, sorry, the situation again is if we have a student living in town coming to our school, chooses to take the EFA,
Not necessarily.
No, or homeschooled, yeah, or.
They cannot come to school here if they're on an EFA.
Yes.
They
but
can no
if they
longer-
are coming to school here and choose to take the
And
EFA,
they're out.
They're no longer our
then
responsibility.
they're no longer on our
I
book.
can't even, if we have an EFA student come here and we charge them, I cannot count them towards any of our enrollments or anything. It's like,
Because they're not considered a student of the district.
It's a thing
Right.
on the side, so it's
They kind
a,
of emancipate themselves,
I have to let them take the class,
but it doesn't have to be.
I have to charge them or just say, our policy says we will not charge them.
If we have a homeschool student in Raymond and they choose to come in to calculus.
Mhm.
We charge them currently?
That's the rule.
Do they count for our ADM?
That's a Jen question. I don't think they do. That's
We
the
charge.
50%.
Can't charge them, right?
Cannot charge a homeschool.
Not them, right?
And that's why
I don't know, John. I don't know that. off the
because
top of my head.
that, in my head, that's part of the question, because we get money
Yeah.
if they're ADM
Yeah,
from the
I don't-
state. We don't, if they're not part of the ADM, which is the EFA students,
Yeah.
we don't get anything from the state.
We won't.
Right. That's what I'm saying is,
So I guess my hang up is that if they live in town, they're paying taxes. And I guess I feel like charging them would almost be like double dipping, regardless if they took the money or not. Like if they live in town, they're paying into the school system as it is. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about.
well,
Yeah.
the issue though is they're making a conscious decision to take the money from the EFA
So they're
at the expense of
essentially taking their tax dollars.
taking.
Okay.
In a
Won me
nutshell,
over.
I'm rounding figures here, so please don't.
Yeah.
Basically, the state gives us around $4,000 and EFA is around $6,000.
But under my example, the people that are,
Yep.
I
And
paid
they're paying
5,600 in taxes a
Yep.
year. I'm getting all that back when I file the EFA. So now, yeah, John won me over. I don't, I'm not
So I
gonna-
need some
I
sort
don't
of.
feel like it's double
I
dipping.
gotta
on me.
come up with some sort of policy or tell a lawyer to, hey, this is what we would like to do. And then they can create a policy and then we move forward.
Just a quick on the policies, New Hampshire School Board Association.
No.
They're not even looking at it? Did they stop making policies?
On these types of subjects like open enrollment, yes,
Um,
in a nutshell.
Because it's so toxic.
Yep, it's, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to alienate their There's a couple, there's a couple of the things that they pull down and stay away from
I'll
too.
tell you exactly why, because they don't wanna create a policy that they're completely strictly against, basically, in a nutshell. That's why.
Well, they don't, want that, that's not true because some of their clients are in favor of it and they don't want to upset both sides of the apple cart.
Let's put it this way, the majority of the people
I-
that make all the
I'll
rules
give you that.
sit there. So, of the two districts that were there that, went back and forth with the
Yeah.
open enrollment, nobody else has, so.
So
Is this something we don't have a choice on?
I have to come up with a policy.
Yeah.
Either.
Okay, we have it. It's kind of like the other thing, we choose not,
Student.
This mandates us to do it.
we have to. Okay, we have to. Okay.
Or whether you decide no, and that's an easy policy to do. You want to say a percentage, whatever.
But I guess. For clarification. Do we have to accept an EFA student?
If they live in town, yes,
Okay. And then it's a question of whether we want to charge them.
yes.
Now, because on here is open enrollment, which is a separate, different thing.
Yep.
And we have.
We're gonna get to that in a minute.
So
In my head.
what if they don't live in town?
Then we don't have to take them. But we could say, "Huh, you want to come here and give us $1,000 to take calculus? Win.
Okay, so we
You can't.
really need a separate policy for in town and out of
The
town.
hardest part is just determine, I mean, I don't think we're gonna, if somebody's living out of town decides to, this is me, I shouldn't say this.
Yeah.
That becomes open.
Me, it's like, if I got somebody in Epping wants to come over and take calculus, I'm gonna charge them the same rate and just be done with it. If I have room if I have room in the class, that would be the predetermined whether they say yes or no. If I don't have room, I say no. If I have room, we say yes, and in my mind, charge them the same amount.
In calculus, you'll definitely have.
Anything, I'm just using that as an example.
It's a safe example. to
Yeah.
say we
It's a
have
safe example.
room. There's room at the end.
Actually look into that for some of these programs that we don't have enough students to,
Oh,
well, run.
You mentioned EFA at home. Some homeschools get EFA.
I have a list of who's taking an EFA. One of the few
You
things,
do get that?
I've seen a list.
Well, then again, that absolves you of any responsibility for that student, so it's worth you knowing that,
Yeah, but
right?
I also don't get a list of who's homeschooled.
But the EFA ones, that's all.
I do.
Don't care who's homeschooled, that's them. They just come and say, hey, I live in town and I want to go to this dance, and you say, okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Behave yourself.
yeah, it's, yeah, I'm like, are you really living here? I'll just work, you know?
And then have to show proof of.
No, well, okay, Beth.
I don't,
Here
know.
we go.
Is that
What
a,
best standards?
To clarify, we talked about a student coming in to take a class.
Yep.
If a student wanted to be part of the math or they wanted to be part of the volleyball team, are we required to charge or not?
Again, you don't have to charge,
Okay.
but have to let them in.
Which is fine. I just
Yeah.
need to understand
Yep.
what we're being asked to do.
And they get, if they're on the EFA, the state, I assume it is, the state gives them $6,000.
Ballpark, don't quote me.
What,
on
yeah,
money.
yeah,
Is that
just.
more or less than what we get?
and that's,
Already said-
John, I think it might be more. I don't know.
but that's the limited
Huh.
funds too, that runs out
They're,
pretty quick.
they've already tapped out.
So we could have homeschool children right now who would choose to take that. We have some who already have it, and the potential being there might be some who switch to it.
That's,
Right.
to me, that's either here or there. It was just, we need to figure out what we want to do for the kid who has the EFA. It's already been determined, a homeschool student. The state has determined, has already set the rules for that, and it's very clear. We have no say in that.
No, but if they switch to EFA, I'm just saying, once we set a policy, we have to consider all situations where kids might flip flop, situation to situation.
Yeah.
Well, in the
Technical advisor.
advisory.
Yeah.
They talk about that you can set limits as to, if, for example, our max at the high school is 25 students. Some are less than that if there are labs and such. And that's already existing policy.
That policy's already been set. If I've got 30 kids, I'm like, I can't let you in.
Yep.
Sorry.
And it says here that, the enrollment requirements can't be any more strict than.
No,
any
right,
other students.
right.
I mean, whatever our policy is, that's And ours is less than the state,
So
so
it literally just comes down to, do we want to charge them or not?
that's all I'm asking.
Do we want to charge them or not? Do you want
Yeah.
to think about it? Or do we
How
want to?
much time do you need, or do we
We
need
have time. We just, again, we can throw this on the agenda again for the third and I think maybe we can chat a little more on Monday if, you know.
Should we come up with a fee schedule for different courses? Like if I want to take like FCS, that should not cost as much. That's my opinion.
I'm
Like-
I'm gonna leave that alone, but we're talking private. I'll tell you why,
All
you
right.
know.
Well, we have to figure out the extracurriculars and the sports.
Charge, but then if we charge an amount, where's that money go?
To us, to her, to revenue. It'd be a revenue.
Wasn't his.
Careful how we say that.
Vacate.
So they would write a check, Margie would get it, she deposits, it goes in the general fund.
Unanticipated or?
Yep, unanticipated.
In this case, yeah.
Yeah.
Or actually, every,
Every year.
It's our-
No, right?
somebody is doing it, yeah.
How many class slots do we have in any given day? Six periods a day?
We have,
Seven.
no, it depends on, right, it's 7. On most, Monday and Friday, and then
And
5
then five.
or 6 on, I'm looking at
Okay,
you,
I'm
sir.
just curious.
Listen, we're talking maybe 2 or 3 students who might want to do this. We don't need to overanalyze this and think 600 kids are going to show up here and give me $1,000 a pop.
I,
It's going to be, if we're lucky,
doing
2
math.
or 3 kids that are going to
I
want
want
to.
to get it in my head. I gotta understand.
I don't know anybody doing that.
I thought he was getting over there.
No, I'm just thinking like, what would a full day, like if a full day is 6 classes and I'm just thinking,
Well, that's why I'm like, if it's 18,000, you know, 6 classes, it's $3,000 a class roughly. But they're only getting $6,000. So on my mind, you know.
yeah, no, you can't do that.
Do it the hard way or the easy.
Here's a situation for you. I'm an EFA kid. I'm paying you. I come in, I take calculus and I go down to the cafeteria and I get in line. Do you have to give me a meal? Do you do other kids?
I'd have to look at it.
Well, I need to know that.
Don't
Because that's gonna incur us another $4,000 in unpaid lunch with this kid hanging around. We have to think about that.
I don't know.
All these are things that can happen.
There goes that money. Class and they have to go home after the
Well,
class.
I was telling my daughters they have open campus so they can leave and get their own food.
Taco Bell.
We're gonna get another technical advisor, the Tony Clements lunch
Yeah,
advisory.
well, you know, I need to know,
Commissioner.
is that kid, are
I
we
don't know.
required to feed that student the way we would anyone else?
I would almost,
'Cause I would
I
feel
would
like
think
no.
rationally, yes,
Well, but if
but I don't know.
we're charging them to be here, I mean, they're not technically
Part
a
of me-
student of the district, right?
Now that I'm thinking more rational about this, they're not a student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd
so
have to pay and I would have to
teachers,
say, you have to pay me before you can walk that. I need
But I
to.
imagine they would
Yeah.
have to sign in and sign out before class and after class, because they
They're a
wouldn't be
visitor.
given free reign of the building, I assume.
Homeschool kids check in and out when they come in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
just-
they can walk to the cafeteria. They're not surveilled the entire
yeah,
time they're in the
never
building.
get
I would think they'd have to pay,
I'm saying.
but I'll.
One thing, we're all assuming at the high school right now, I think,
Yeah.
but
It could happen at the, yeah.
middle, elementary, right?
We have students who come in for band, we have students come in for art, we have.
I'm thinking, you know,
The whole
homeschool
typically middle school, not elementary, but typically middle school, we have some kids come in for there too.
the
We have
unique
homeschool students
events.
participate in extracurricular activities as well. So
And
Oh, yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking is we're gonna charge that person the same as we would a high school student here taking a course like
it
calculus.
might be a little less or something. Again, it'd have to be a floating scale. It might be too, you know, we charge for dances. That'd be an extracurricular activity where we wouldn't charge because typically kids have to pay $2 to come in. So I guess if there's a fee to attend an extracurricular activity, that would be null and void. However, if you want to run track, it's going to cost you $55. Again, something just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So you guys can think about that and then come back.
Well, I'm trying to think of what kind of.
Or we can have a motion and we're moving on.
In my mind, I think, I don't mind regular motion and maybe you could work with the other superintendents, that way they can see what they're charging.
But what do we take? The cost per pupil divided by days, divided by periods to, just some kind of a number? How do we even get to that number?
Well, yeah, do we have to decide the number? Or is it that-
Yeah.
Right, but we can tonight decide we want to charge, just not exactly what that will be.
Yeah. and I
Yes.
think we even have to know that. Those and different, again, when we get into enrollment, I think a good thing is we've had conversations, with other superintendents, we've been talking extensively about open enrollment. So I think if you guys decide you want to charge, I can find out, you know, from Epping, from Sanborn, from Exeter, what they're going to charge a student. And if they are going to charge and what they're going to charge for extracurricular.
I'll just speak up where I'm at. For me, taking a class, I would charge the student for the reason that I don't believe we're gonna get state aid. And we get state aid for every other student. For co-curricular sports, I'm leaning to no, not charging, because we have, we don't, except for
Football.
no,
That's another $600 helmet.
Yeah.
if we're at a limit.
We are starting, John, to be honest with you, we're starting to have make cuts because the athletics are starting to pick up. I think,
What I mean is,
yeah,
so if we're at a max already, right?
Yep.
Of the roster, if the roster is full, then we can't accept this, that,
But they
or do we have
They
to?
don't make.
they have to try out. And if they make the team, they'd have to go through the same,
They have to try out.
and they make the
I
team.
was just assuming, for example, coming in mid-season, or whatever.
No, yeah. They would have.
Right now, I'm thinking, for me anyways, I would say no, because everybody else is no
That makes it easier.
for me, but that's where I'm at. I just, so that we can, if everybody's on the same page, we can take care of this tonight. If everybody wants more time, that's fine. I just wanted to get where I'm at so that we can move it along.
I would agree with that.
Or more.
I'm good with that. I already said it.
So doing,
You need an.
Charge for a
activity.
class, extracurricular is basically free.
I think you need a-
Assuming it's free to other students in the district already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if students currently have to pay, then they would have.
If we decide to ever go to a pay to play thing, they would have to pay just like everyone else.
Right.
so my only question would be, I know
That's what we're deciding.
yeah, make sure I say this properly. The students who are students here have requirements to stay in extracurriculars and sports. You have to have a certain grade point average, you have to stay eligible. How do you handle that for a student who
You
is
gotta be
not?
in school that day too, yeah, that's.
Well, that would.
So how does that
Would have to follow the same rules and policies. However,
but if their class is only held 3 times a week, now they only have to be here during those classes?
And would if I'm homeschooled, other than one class, would my mom or whoever's teaching me report my
no
grades for my academic?
You ask him.
I cannot,
So you can't be academically ineligible if you're homeschooled or
thank you for saying that.
outside of the
Thank you
district.
for saying that. That's,
What we're coming down
I
to.
cannot check grades.
Yeah, they did say in the advisory that their prerequisites, you'd have to adhere to whatever the prerequisites. I don't know that they.
So if they had one class, they'd have to pass it to be eligible.
So the only one that we could
Homeschool?
monitor is the one that they're doing in this building or any building in the district. We can
What
use
about
that. If they're
what
failing
about
their class, they're
behaviors
Doing here.
here and not here?
Well, here, yes, not here, no, I don't.
Yeah, if a kid wants to tear up his own living room, what are we gonna say?
It's not living rooms I'm worried about.
Bathroom, bro.
It's other places, but you know, your own bathroom.
The toilet off the wall?
Yeah.
Dad's gonna be fired up.
That's the reason I'm asking it piecemeal, right? So the only reason I'm concerned is I know we have students who have requirements, and if they see a kid come in from somewhere else who's now on the football team and doesn't have the same requirements to their perspective, they're gonna feel like, why does this kid get to waltz in, do whatever he wants? He only has to come twice a week and he's still on the same football team, but I'm being held to a higher standard. I just want to make sure that.
Decided to come from here.
I'm just saying, I want to make sure that we don't forget that part of it where we're just talking about money. There's other requirements besides whether or not we
The
charge.
rules while they're here, but I'm telling you right now, academically ineligible and all that. No, there's no, I cannot ask for their grades.
You mentioned applying with specific classes. I mean, if I want to take honors algebra and I haven't taken math 101 yet, are we allowed to give a test to sit there and say, you need to take this test?
If you want to pay for a class you're not prepared for, that's on you. I'll take your money.
Well,
Yeah, but
no, Joe, I don't think I can.
You say that, but then all of a sudden the teacher's helping this person here.
Well,
not helping
no, they're
everybody else,
gonna
because
help.
now they're trying to, you know.
My rule has always been, and John and I have chatted about this, we really can't say no to a kid who wants to try a class, but these are the days extra help is available. And that's when I look at the teacher and say, you provide the extra help that you would every other student. And
And
that's
time, whatever, right?
Right, but if, for example, you're taking a class where algebra 1 is a prerequisite,
Yeah,
we can't see.
where they took the pre-algebra. Again,
What I'm saying is, so we can't
I
add.
don't think I
look
can.
for, okay, just because we
Yeah.
can't hear.
Yeah.
You know, the guidance counselors will just look, yeah, Johnny took algebra 1.
Yeah.
Passed it. they can take the class.
Yeah, because they're gonna pay for it.
Well, no, I'm talking about anybody.
No, I don't, I cannot ask for,
Homeschool
No.
students.
not ask for any, yep, nothing.
That's all, just.
And we can't make them take a
No.
benchmark test.
You guys are,
They come in
listen,
and they
we're talking
do
two
the
or three kids.
assessment.
For some,
Walk in there and they fail, you know, it's-
But if we don't put, if we don't put,
Just-
if we don't put the outline in place, then
that's
two or
what you
three kids.
need to do, just to say, these are the rules and you have to follow the rules. And if you find I'm not doing that, then you can say, it's hasta la vista, Terry.
But we all know.
Oh, you got 3 more years, man. You're okay.
So I'm like, this is, trust me that, I just need, we're gonna do what we're supposed to do.
Problem is if there's any holes in the policy,
Yeah, well, that.
someone will find it.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that that's tight, but this other, yeah,
Yeah, I think we're good. Anyone else?
John's over there.
well, I was, have what you need from tonight.
Yes.
To go
Come up with something.
Come back with what you need.
Proposal?
Yeah,
We don't need a motion for you.
no, I'm good. That's when we will.
The gentleman in the corner.
It's more just like a side thing, but would they be able to partake in like events for the day, like Operation Rain Cleanup? Would they be able to participate in those or?
I would say, yeah, I'm not looking to,
Okay, I was just,
if we got a kid who wants to start to participate in some of that extracurricular stuff and be part of the community, I'm not gonna slam the door in their face.
Okay.
I think that that's really important. So, yeah, that's my motto, but as long as they're a good kid and,
Need that social.
they're not vaping when they're doing it, then, but if they're out there picking up trash and doing the right thing, we're gonna encourage that.
You're planting bombs? No.
Yeah, they're expected to be held to a certain standard and, I think Pete and Joanne do a really nice job of trying to, when they catch someone, they hold them to that standard. The hard part's catching them all the time.
But in this,
They're good.
instance, if we did take on someone and they were here and we had issues, we could tell them to beat it.
Yeah.
And not be obligated to
Absolutely.
find them another class or facilitate any
Yeah.
crap. We
You,
could say, you blew it.
Yep.
See you later.
here's
Thanks for the
your,
money.
here's $750 back.
Yeah.
We were here for 3 days. We charge you $250 for that.
just make everybody homeschool.
All right, the next one.
Another fun one.
Oh, well, I hope it's fairly easy. Open enrollment. By RSA, we have to have $1 in our budget for tuition and revenue. There is not a school district in our surrounding area that is entertaining being open enrollment. Just for the simple fact that it's just nobody, it's still being, parlayed out into the courts. So that's where we're at. So that would be my recommendation is that we are not an open enrollment school, just like the rest of the schools, and we can move on. If you guys want to be an open enrollment school, then we have to put a warrant article out there and it goes to the town and then we decide if, like Prospect Mountain, I think they're going to get jammed up because they're an open enrollment school saying we're going to take students, but none of you can go. I don't see how that works.
I'll make a motion that we
Yeah,
don't allow open enrollment
at this time.
at this time.
Yes,
Second thought.
I know, John, and that's what I'm hearing.
Well, no, okay.
Yeah.
What I would recommend doing is allow open enrollment so we don't have a negative.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Vote No on it.
Sorry, I'll revise to, I will make a motion that we allow open enrollment.
I'll second.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't have a negative motion.
Can't, I just
You
can't.
can't motion to not.
Makes sense complicated.
Don't want to vote
Yes,
no.
no? No.
Yes to a no vote.
So one of the biggest issues that I think Prospect Mountain is having is who's going to pay for what, and how they're paying for certain extras, you could say, if a student needs it.
Oh, yeah, all that
It's
special
all-
ed costs haven't been hammered
Yeah,
out. It's, because you're only allowed
No,
to
it's a
take
big plus.
80% of the
Oh,
tuition.
yeah.
And then after that, who pays for if you have a special ed student and you can't say no? You can set some criteria, but you better be real careful with your criteria because then it becomes discrimination.
Oh,
All 9 yards.
All of a sudden, I'll pick on Epic. They sit there and say, hey, I think you should go to Raymond, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're writing over the check for 80%. And all of a sudden, we're getting another $20,000, $30,000 worth of special education crap on us going, hey, we want you to pay for it. No, I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I only have to give you 80% of my the cost per pupil.
Or our office referrals triple.
So it does open a,
Motion.
Oh, I made it.
And I second it.
And he seconded it, so yeah.
All right, call for the vote.
Oh, all those in favor?
Made the motion.
He's already made the motion.
Calling for the vote
Oh, yeah.
now.
Oh,
You
okay.
Voting yes or no, that's the question.
Well,
right? That's where we're at.
Yes.
Okay.
So looking for yeses,
Any,
right? Correct?
We have to ask.
I'm calling for the vote.
Understand?
Yeah,
The motion was to support it.
yeah.
I'm voting no. I'll start.
Usually we do an all in
Start.
favor and an all opposed.
Okay, all in favor. Okay, all in favor.
No,
All opposed? No.
There you go.
It's the same
You
thing.
just confused me then.
Call for the vote means vote.
I know, I just saw.
Um,
go ahead.
but you need another,
I'm sorry.
you need another step, correct? You need $1 that's allocated for someplace.
I need a dollar allocated in those two lines. So Marjorie's got to create the lines and just put $1 in it.
We need to make any
I
money.
do not think you need to do that because this is me, the RSA said we have to do it, so we're just gonna follow the law.
Even if we choose no, we have to do it.
You still have to have $1 in each line.
So they can force us to spend that money even though we chose not to. Right?
Yes. If a student, there was a court case, Pittsfield versus Prospect Mountain. Pittsfield has said no to open enrollment. They had a student go to Prospect Mountain.
That $1 forces us to be able to expend that money.
Yeah, and the
If
law.
it wasn't there,
In
if it wasn't there, we couldn't.
And local control. One of my Friday memos was like, comments was put $600,000 in open enrollment. Everyone's gonna say no, and does no mean no? One of the superintendents said, let's try that. And I was like, you can be the leader on that. I'm just gonna sit back and let you guys fight that out. But someone said that. Then no means no. Does it?
Was that 10 million?
I mean, for at least a year anyway.
Well, no means no, you know.
Forever.
Not in this town.
It's for the year that you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that calendar,
Okay,
yeah.
so, all right. All right, so yeah, but so I think that, politically, I'm gonna say, I don't think that when they passed this law, they understood the ramifications and they didn't put the right barriers up or roadblocks or the language that should have been done. So I wouldn't be surprised that they're still gonna rewrite it. I think open enrollment is gonna come sooner or later, but I think that there's gonna be more guardrails
It
put.
can't be a free for all.
Yeah,
So we put $1 in, hypothetically, it gets, budget committee says drop it, or hypothetically, it gets removed at the deliberative session, where I'm assuming we're still obligated to.
whatever, if a student decides to go to Prospect Mountain,
We're gonna be on the hook
regardless
regardless
of
of
what,
whether.
you have no choice in the matter.
His question is if they remove that dollar,
We're gonna
at any point
We're gonna
from
have to
here
pay.
through the budget.
pay, or we're going to court.
So, but they, if the RSA says we have to have it, can we remove it at deliberative?
Don't
Is
think,
it removable?
Would that be?
like Gordon's there,
Yeah,
let us know.
It's one of those where the question of the attorney would be.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Make them earn their keep.
Yeah,
Speaking of the no means no, wouldn't it be no means no if it was actual warrant article instead?
that's what I was.
I thought you meant to.
We put a ton of money in it just to make it
No,
unappealing.
No.
People will vote against it.
it. Just sit there and make it a separate warrant article.
I don't know if it'll pass. What if it passes?
Why would
Pay an
we
extra $10
subject,
million,
why would we
yeah.
put ourselves?
Wide open, baby.
If people come to us and say, hey, we want open enrollment, I'll entertain it, but as for right now, no, I got no interest. But unless people start beating down that door demanding it, I'm not even gonna consider it.
Just my thought process, and then again, this, because, I live in Fremont and I'm a taxpayer too, is that the state is mandating that my Fremont taxpayers go to Epping, go to Raymond, or go somewhere else, and I have no say in that matter, because the state's only giving me $4,000. So out of that $20,000 per pupil, 16 is mine. And now you're telling me I'm giving it to you. And I love you, Tone, but I don't want the money leaving my town coming here.
I mean, I'll take it. but-
Now, in Massachusetts, where they have open enrollment, the state gives, $19,000 per kid. And they have open enrollment over there, but it's another one of those classic things where school districts like us have open enrollment. Exeter, Oyster River, or, Andover. They say, nope, we don't want it. So all the
Right. So all the schools that someone from here would want to go to
Now,
say, no,
someone's
we're not
gonna say,
taking those.
no. Yeah. So there's no movement.
You know, to move the
There
ladder.
might be a kid from Amesbury going from Amesbury to Salisbury or something like that, but it's nothing drastic.
We're good with that one.
Yes, sir.
Monthly financial update.
The tax rate was finally set.
Yeah. 22.
So your revenues now have a budget included in there for what we're expecting for revenues. As of right now, I'm not seeing any shortfalls anywhere anticipating. I did increase during the tax rate setting process, the special education aid, because they were telling us that we're expected to receive more than that again. So I increased that to $500,000 this year.
Increase to 500?
The special education aid from when we went through the budget process last year. They told me that this year we were still seeing a significant increase, so I didn't budget it fully because I'm not expecting it, so I did increase it significantly. Yeah. But that's the only change I made in regards to the revenue.
What are we doing with Eversource with the money for the solar? Are we considering that not revenue, but something else, or how are we handling that?
When I receive the revenue, I'll show it. I really haven't seen the revenue yet. All I have is a credit on an invoice. So once I actually see it, I'll report it on here.
So will there be another line with that, or is it gonna be bunched into something else? I'm just curious.
Typically, I would think I would put that under other, but I can break that out specifically.
Will we ever get a green dollar revenue from them, or will it always just be a credit?
Well, that's why I was asking, because we're
Yeah.
getting, in essence, it is revenue, right?
And I've never been through this process before, so I don't actually know how I'm going to see it yet. That's why I'm saying right now, all I've seen is a credit on the Eversource statement.
So it's
Money technically has not come into the district.
That's what I'm asking. Is there ever a situation where we will actually get money from Eversource back to, they're gonna cut us a check for $1,000 at some point in time? Or will it always just live on their ledger as a credit against our
expense.
expenses?
Right, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
We're still so new in the
Yeah.
process that I haven't seen that paperwork yet, and we just, we're finalizing everything right now with EEI as everything's coming to a close in regards to everything, the boiler, the solar, everything.
Yeah.
So we're still working with EEI and then the outside sources, the state of New Hampshire and a bunch of stuff that we're still crossing the Ts and dotting the Is. But if it does come to a point where I do receive the revenue for it, I will, especially if it's a significant amount, I will make sure to pinpoint it on the revenue side.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Good question, though. Thank you. The page after that is a summary of general fund expenditures by object code. Again, we're still seeing overages in regards to salaries and the benefits, because when we are on the default budget, our contracted services were higher that we budgeted this year, because instead of outsourcing those positions, we now have them in the budget. So that's where you're going to see the offset for that.
Because we added those positions during 24, 25. And we didn't have them budgeted, so they're not even though we had them there. it's
Exactly.
Not considered there because it wasn't part of it.
And that's one of the things I'll have to look at again when we go through, once the budget's finalized and I work on the default budget, that's gonna be another thing that I'm gonna have to remember to do, is subtract those positions out and add the money in for those contracted services. Joe and I talked about that earlier this week. Architecture and engineering services, that line is over because that's the contract that we signed with Kyle Barker, so I have that in there as a placeholder. And then other than that, everything else is encumbered as it should be right now.
On that. Just, the last vote the board took was to fund it through CRF. And even it's showing here because it's an expense,
And then the revenue will,
we'll have to resolve it as time goes by to see if we have any money
Yep.
to do anything differently, right?
exactly, yep.
Communication is $174,000 over. Is that just for the freaking copper lines?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Shut up. Sorry.
Yes,
Did they change them in the platinum? Or are we-
I don't know. That's why when we started getting, I said, well, stopped. Yeah, that's what I told you guys.
So
3 lines,
Three
lines.
copper lines.
$174,000. Can you show me where they are? I'm gonna go cut them.
Well, I actually, what did I say today? I
So
said something rather. It was a good one. I can't remember, but it was a good one.
I don't know if I want to say it.
Well, then,
And don't,
Don't.
that's okay.
write it. Sign language.
Yeah,
I mean, I know who it is. It's First Light. I don't care if I talk.
Just stating that they own copper lines is not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they did, I mean, obviously it wasn't $40,000 a line last year.
Maybe it was. I think it was. But that's why we got into this whole digital phone stuff because the copper lines were astronomically huge. I remember going through it in the town too.
Times 3 times 12.
a month?
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I was.
This is
That is the
one line
most
going into each building.
ridiculous
You've
thing.
never been told, never got it, anything that this was gonna happen. That's why I was like,
This copper line is like a regular old style line that comes off a pole and goes into the building.
Service.
So that
there's
happening,
probably 100 of them in this building that are just not hooked up. One is.
Yeah.
But they're good wires. Yeah, it's a real good one.
We don't want people kicking the doors down to save our copper
Yeah,
line.
we gotta,
Yeah, 7 miles
So now they're still charging us?
for this month and I won't pay it. Well, I should have said it. Shut up.
no.
yeah, that's what I didn't want to say.
Well, I just said it for you.
Yeah.
They
No,
own,
well, we're okay with that.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, probably. They probably own from the pole and we own from the pole end.
90.
So I just wanted to.
Yeah, let's see you working on it.
See it work.
There's actually, I think there's actually one right there.
Oh, yeah, there is.
And I think there's one over there, and I think there's one.
Oh, my God. I see.
Demonstrate.
Can you do it?
Oh, I'm not gonna get caught. I'm not gonna get caught. You guys are gonna.
Anything you.
Asking you for a
demonstration.
For educational purposes.
I don't.
Everybody's watching, don't.
Oh. Hey.
Stick in the ceiling.
I'm proud.
We're happy to see him nodding.
You're so hard, it scatters the stuff. What are we doing even? Whoa.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem for me.
Yeah, it's a
That I'm
problem for me.
alone, by the way. I know I'm not alone, but. Oh, my God, that's ridiculous.
So my question with that is if we don't have a copper line and we lose electricity, what does that do for outgoing phone lines? Okay.
Well, I think we talked about this last week too, and quite literally, and I'm not kidding on this one. If we had to, let's buy a satellite phone.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a preferable choice.
No, so
I don't want to go down that,
does any of that,
that's every 10-year rabbit hole.
but do any of that, I know,
I can get in the truck and drive close enough to get my phone to work somewhere.
Hmm.
I can go either left or right.
I'm just saying, if we ever had to, that's
We have
easy.
we have direct emergency lines. I hit a button and every cop in the state's gonna come in there at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We have cell phones, we have classroom phones, and we have the voice over IP phones.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
well covered.
So
Problem is if the
And now I got
goes down,
I got a smokestack that blows a lot of
Goes
smoke
down.
right now. 3 shorts, 3 long. Come on, let's go back to
Yeah,
basic training. 3 shorts, 3 long.
flare gun in your desk.
yeah,
You know, some, I mean, the middle school has the generator and stuff like that.
They all have generators, don't they?
They have one here for the gym.
Yeah.
Just the
It's
gym.
not the
I think it's
whole-
just the gym,
yeah,
not
it's not
this
the
whole
whole
building
school.
is not.
I mean, when my power goes at home, as long as I have my generator on
Yeah.
and my cable, I mean, I still get a phone.
Well,
usually.
the issue is gonna be that if you lose power, you're gonna lose internet too, because it's the same pole.
Because you lose your router.
That's why I said the middle school would be the only one.
Yeah, you have to use cell phones, yeah.
But in the old days, if the power went out, your phone would still work. But a lot of the, generally.
yeah, that's straight copper line.
That too, that doesn't cost.
So my only question.
Cost $15,000.
My only question is, I know with the town, we had to keep some because it had to do with alarms and stuff with like the water pumps and that type of stuff. Well, there's nothing connected to any systems that require
They're truly just phone
Might
line.
want to check to see if you're paying $15,000.
Oh, no, it's,
Fine.
I think that was a discussion last year because the stuff that goes to like the pump house and the different
Yeah.
water treatment stuff.
Yeah.
1,500 a month,
Like that, yeah.
1,000,
15,000
yes,
per month
Three.
per line.
times 12, yes.
So if I had an old one in my house, what would that be?
So what we have here is only what, 4 months?
Mhm.
3 months, 4 months worth?
So it's very weird because this time last year, we started talking about consolidating the phone lines, right? It's been
Yeah.
an ongoing thing. First Light was the one that said, yeah, we don't know why you have us and Consolidated. It would be cheaper for you to go to Consolidated. So we started switching all the phone lines over. I disputed one of the invoices sometime back in the spring or whatever, and they came out in full force, and because it was taking so long for them to transfer all of the lines between them and Consolidated, we couldn't, for whatever reason, like it just kept getting hung up and it's taken us about a year. So when we kept getting these extra charges, I was like, this is happening just because we're consolidating. It's gonna even out. They're gonna give us a credit. Then finally I was like, no, what's happening? Because all of our lines are switched over. What is the problem? Matt and Todd worked on it, said that they could totally cancel these 3 lines because there was no reason why we needed them at this point. And then when Matt contacted them, they said, oh, well, we notified you. We notified you this is what it was gonna be. I didn't get a notification. Nobody in my office got a notification. Matt didn't get a notification. Terry didn't get.
Send a notification again.
So where's this notification? Because none of us were aware of it, and I thought it was just because we were consolidating and we were eventually going to see the money coming back.
Just to clarify. You're saying we're getting charged $15,000 a month.
Approximately.
And
Per line.
it's not per line, because we're only getting charged $175 a year. Is that right?
175.
I thought somebody said it was $175,000 a year.
It's $175,000 over the
Right now.
line.
Right now, though, that's a,
Because if it was times 3, it's basically 175-ish times 3. So we're at
no, it's
close
40,
to $500,000 for communication.
Yes,
Correct.
that's why,
Yes.
oh, for the full year, yeah.
Yeah.
45,000 a month. So
This only represents 3.5,
Yeah.
3.5 months.
I was contemplating retirement. I'm gonna go into the phone line.
John, I will want to start with business. I will even learn how to climb a stinking pole.
Like, what
You
kind of
just, I'll let
bonuses?
you feed the wire to me and I'll go from pole to pole.
There you go.
What kind of bonuses are they handing out over there? Because
Yeah,
I'm like,
Marjorie, she could drive.
Apparently Maserati. Apparently Maserati.
I will say, said phone company, has likes to email people who no longer work for the people who they're emailing, so. But they'll say they email you.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
Anyway,
Yeah,
but again, just to clarify though, what I'm trying to get over is the communication is 228,000 budgeted. So we're not getting charged that much, or we're gonna be hundreds of thousands of dollars over that line. Is that what we're saying?
correct.
Fine.
That's why it's $174,000
Give me a little-
already.
For lines we don't even use.
Yeah, because we've budgeted 53. We've already spent 182,000
Good stuff. All right,
because of them.
we beat this enough.
yeah. All right, that's good.
You can't.
That's ridiculous.
There's no way to Fight that.
Well,
Like,
Again, I think-
We're gonna see what happens when we don't.
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
No,
make a
just don't.
decision before we do that.
They're still sitting on my desk.
sit,
yeah.
let's sit, see what happens.
And it's how long ago you asked for them to disconnect them?
We've been working on it for a year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's just straight up negligence on their part.
And then once it gets carried over,
$1 million a year. Would you be in a rush to take them out?
No, but my point is it's essentially a form of extortion.
Oh, yeah.
They're taking money from us because they're refusing to cancel a service we asked them to cancel a year ago.
Mhm.
That's them being criminally liable for extortion. You can't charge people for services they no longer want. 30 days, I get. Everybody will go, well, if you cancel today, we're gonna charge you for the next 30 days. Great, sucks, we'll take the 30 days. It should have ended 11 months ago. This is horse.
So there's no utilities commission input on a rate hike like that, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
Can we report them to like the Better Business Bureau? Like, is there something we gotta be able to do? This is just ridiculous. I don't care who's,
Take a look at stuff.
yeah, that's the,
that we're just in the beginning stages. Because we're kind of like just ready to be done with them. And now it's kind of like, okay.
So when we talked about this last, you said they were overcharging us. I guess I didn't understand the scope and the scale.
We whispered it. We didn't say it very loud.
You guys were like,
oh, hey, that went
Stop,
over
we
pretty
need to
well.
talk about this legally. I was like, okay,
Should be, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
All
wow,
right.
sorry, I'll stop.
no, you're good.
I'll stop.
Any questions on the expenditures on that side? Besides,
Oh, let me see. Make sure. The only question I have on expenditure
Mhm.
is during budget questions, or when we were presented in 26, 27 budget, I asked about Terry's salary being in there for so the amount he's getting paid this year in 25, 26 budget. Was that done correctly? Because we couldn't do it because of default, I thought. We had to go with the default, which would have been his salary from last year. And that's the question.
right, and I think I told you at the last meeting, I did make a mistake on that. His full salary was in there. Yep.
So do we have to correct it or we just live with it?
I can't fix the default budget at this point.
I didn't know what to do, so.
Yep.
But that would be
Sorry.
small.
No, I understand. It's not a lot of money. And when you can, comparing it to millions of dollars. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. As soon as you said that, I went to the detail of expenditures and what is in the original budget column. That is what the budget is that passed, the default. So that's how I knew right then that that's what it was. Summary of lunch revenues and expenditures. Again, only a couple months into the year. The revenue has been coming in steadily, and the expenses, we typically pay for stuff ahead of time before we start seeing anything like that. Right now, we're looking at a general fund transfer of $88,000. And with that being said, with the food service, just want to let you all know that they're having Thanksgiving lunches tomorrow. If any of you want to come over to any one of the schools. And then that's what I have for the lunch. Any questions on that? And then behind that is your detail of expenditure by object code. Thank you.
Next. Budget discussion.
Now we got,
So with the
An
new
article?
tax rate being set, I added a new sheet that I believe you have in front of you.
sorry, you jumped over the warrant article.
I got my
Oh, sorry.
express
Going to the
here. It doesn't have it on there.
So first thing up is revenue in the budget.
Yep, that's where it was. Yeah.
What articles are? Which we
I could log on.
right?
Oh, we just did revenues, no?
No, 26, 27.
We did financial,
Oh.
the budget.
Sorry.
So where is anyone see? I see the warrant article on my thing there, but I don't see it on the agenda anywhere that I missed it. Okay.
No, I jumped.
Below,
E?
you jumped.
I jumped.
You're
I jumped.
right.
That was me, sorry.
Chomping at the bit over.
Yes.
So I
Hold
believe
back, Steve.
Terry handed out to you all, so I basically, the revenues were released Friday afternoon late. And so with that being done and sent out and us having the final tax rate, which includes our revenues for this year, I created revenue sheet for you all, in that worksheet, in the budget worksheet, but Terry gave you a handout as well. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm running out of gas. So adequate education, we're receiving a little bit less for that, as well as the state education tax. Building aid is going away now that the bonds are paid off this year. Special education aid, like I indicated, I increased that for this year and I'm expecting it to stay the same for next year. The energy grant from the EEI project, which is why our lease payment went up. That's the credit that we're supposed to receive for that. Vocational charter school and child nutrition, that is all remaining the same with the new EFA phase out that they have. So I've increased that a little bit. And then further down, the federal grants, Medicaid and child nutrition, I'm leaving the same. Food service sales remaining the same. Tuition, indirect fees, impact fees, interest decreasing slightly. Before school program and after school program remaining the same, I think, until decisions are made later in regards to the budget process. If those are adding or subtracting, those might need to come in or be deleted. So then the general fund operating expenses is there as a total with your food service, your federal fund. So with the difference of the total expenses less the revenue, the increase in the net operating budget is $1.3 million. The net assessed valuation has been updated according to the latest tax rate, which is a 99 cent per thousand increase based off of this information.
There has been some concern raised about some of the Title I funds, for example,
2 and 4.
2 and 4. But yet we still have it budgeted here, right? Under estimates.
Because it's yet to be seen.
But I'm just clarifying
So you have Title II and Title IV in there?
in the estimates.
Title IV would be about 300 grand and Title II should be
Yep, I have that.
65.
I have that in a different spreadsheet.
Sorry.
Because
You guys are fine. I wasn't expecting that question, so.
the reason I ask is because under federal grants, we were under 720, which is the same as it was budgeted for last year. It's historically significantly more than that when we get the actual. But then the other thing is the before and after school is the ones that we were concerned about not receiving,
That's Title IV.
but yet we've got them estimated. So we've just got to make a decision. If it's in the revenue side, then we don't worry about it on the expenditure side. Is that fair to say, or is it?
Right, so they would offset each other. So I budgeted 720 for revenue and 720 for expenses. So if I decrease one or the other, they're both going to offset each other, but right now they're both at 720.
Right, but under the initiative, you folks have given us like PD.
Yeah.
Is $60,000 plus, I think, yeah. So if we put it in we raise, or we put a line item for professional development in the expenditure side, that means the revenue we wouldn't be taking it. Because we'd be double dipping in essence, we'd be raising it twice, isn't that correct?
That's how I see it.
You know what
Sorry,
saying, Marjorie?
I'm trying to find my worksheet.
To make the easiest example, the PD professional development, one of the initiatives is to add 60,000 to our budget
Correct.
to take care of so that we get PD, which we need.
Mhm.
However, if it's on the expenditure, I mean, the revenue side, if we're anticipating it, then we wouldn't need to have that initiative.
Right.
Because, so I guess I need to know, if we're estimating that we're gonna receive it, then we don't need to put it on the expenditure side. Is that fair to say?
Nope, you're correct.
Am I looking at it right?
Yeah,
As I said it, I started getting a little,
but then again, if you don't have it there and we don't get it, then you sell the budget.
what have we done in the past? But we haven't, on the expenditure side, do we have professional development back in the current year? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, for example, I know that we have but one, it's different, but I understand. One pre-K teacher budgeted. We don't have the other one budgeted, so that's where.
That's IDEA though, so I think.
I'm not worried about that. I'm just using that as an example of, I know that we have it. We have two of them, but we're only raising and appropriating one. Because it's being federally funded. And I'm just trying to make sure I understand, because I don't want to say, let's do the initiative, but yet we're also budgeting or saying we're going to get the revenue side. So that makes sense to everybody.
Department of Labor is gonna give half of the federal funds out, and the Department of whatever the heck it was, gonna give the.
I got
other.
Yeah.
I got an email to share with you that the commissioner sent out with how they divvied it all up. from the Department of Ed, all the different, how it's done, so. They're not foreseeing any issues.
Our department, the state.
Yeah.
Is not seeing any revenues not being there next year. Is that what they're saying?
Kids, they're saying that this year, because next year's hasn't been appropriated yet. So
Right.
I'm not, there's
That's
no
why I was-
guarantees, yeah. This year it's been appropriated. He tried to stop it and was told you can't do that. Next year, they have to appropriate it. I don't
Yeah, we'll
see
see.
that happening.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so Title I,
But that's good. We're just talking
Yep.
Title IV and Title II.
Title II, I budgeted 55. And Title IV, 145,
So I think you need to subtract those two out of your revenue.
and out of the expenses.
No, they're not in it.
Yes, because they are in the expenses. If you look at that department, they're in both. If you look at that department spreadsheet, I have the general fund by department, then food service, then grants.
Right, but what would happen, I think, Marjorie, is that where we're getting the revenue is changing.
I
As opposed to federal, it's not coming from the federal anymore. We don't anticipate, we're anticipating local Raymond taxes, right?
So what she's.
But then I've got to put it in, so I've got to take it out of the grant, put it into the department, take it out of the revenue. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and it's gonna be, it ultimately would be in the it just wouldn't be called out of the local program.
right,
So we've got to, if we want to continue those programs, we need to put it in the budget.
I have a, well, actually, I have a stupid question here. If we get the grant, see, this had happened once before, because if we were paying for something, they wouldn't give us the grant, because we already said we would pay for it ourselves. If we put it in the budget, well, you could pay for it
My
yourself.
first year that happened and we still got the grant and we had a $300,000 or whatever it was, $150,000 windfall.
Yeah.
Cause we took the grant, even though you guys put it in the budget, not knowing whether you had the grant or not. Got the grant and we just we had a little extra money.
it was added into the surplus,
That was my first year. I remember that.
and it was for
specifically.
the after-school program.
Yeah.
So we don't think it would hurt us to budget it.
Would not hurt. It happened before.
Do you have anything else you wanted to
What would
add
the,
before we go into discussion, Marjorie? With information you provided us, because you gave us the revenue. I didn't know if there was anything else.
No, I don't have anything else.
John,
Are we gonna go over the warrant articles or just gonna jump into it?
I would say jump into the budget, because that will dictate what we do elsewhere, right?
Feel you.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that we set the budget at, hold on, 32 million.
Oh,
Hold on.
John, you are ready.
already 8:20. We're just starting.
Okay, 32?
Go ahead,
32, 316, 441.
32,
And I'll
31,
explain it if I get a second.
sorry, 32, 316, 441.
Correct.
Thank you.
this is a reduction of 60.
Well, again, it's 496,328.
4,
That's a discussion.
Yeah, no, that's,
496,328.
all right. Got a list, so. This is what I've done. I'll preface the conversation by my concerns, and you've heard them all, or not all of them, but you've heard them, some of them. You know, August, Northeast Region's Consumer Price Index for August 2025 was 3.3%. Our proposed budget is 4.79%, which is about 45% higher than Consumer Price Index. And I'm worried about us being able to, as the Raymond citizens being able to afford this. So I'm gonna go through my reductions and additions to the budget. And I'll do it quickly so I don't bore you all. I'm gonna combine the Raymond High School and Middle School guidance generalist, so there would be one.
What was that again?
High school and middle school media generalist those two would become one.
Wait,
Librarian?
librarians.
Okay.
Same as-
German high school and middle school librarians.
Eliminate a third grade teacher going from 5 to 4. Eliminate a fourth grade teacher going 5 to 4.
Hold on, slow down here.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What was the second, the?
Third grade, 5.
third grade, fourth grade, and sixth grade, all 5 to 4. And there are amounts, I can give the amounts. You looking for those, Marjorie, or
If you have them, that would be great. So I don't have to,
I didn't make up the numbers.
no, that's okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to, I'm trying to, if people are going to vote, quickly say no. I don't wanna
Right.
have people waste time.
I appreciate your,
Yeah.
You want the numbers? I'll give, okay. For the first one, we combine the two media generals into $112,407.
is that the reduction of the cost?
The reduction.
Sorry, John.
You're trying to swim way over.
That's our savings, man.
Yeah, God.
Sorry.
Well, I don't know why everybody wants the lights
Yeah, I
on
don't
so
know.
bad.
Okay.
Was that 112
The-
what?
112,407.
Yeah, 112,407. Eliminate the third grade is 58,941, so 58,941. And these are the numbers that I got from the administration. Eliminate the fourth and sixth grade, and I didn't know which one was which, so I just combined them as they were. So that's 187,538.
Combined?
Those two positions, yeah, because we can get them, we've got it separated, I just don't know, I didn't know which one was which, Joe, when it was given to us,
187,500.
38. All right, next is, middle school athletic buses, I reduced it by 5,500, so going from 12,000 to 6,500, so it's a reduction, or excuse me, I'm sorry, I went the opposite. The budget, I'm removing 6,500 and the budget would be back to 5,500. Middle school assemblies.
What's the savings?
6,500.
I'm reducing middle school assemblies from 5, reducing it by 3,000. So it would end up at 2. Currently, there are 6 secretaries between the middle school, the elementary school. I'm going 6 to 5. That savings would be $61,173.
That's just the middle school, you said?
61,000.
Middle and elementary.
61.
Yep.
173, and that's at the middle and elementary. They have 6 full, 3 and 3.
3 and 3, so go to 5.
What's the amount for that, John? The secretaries?
61,173.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Does
you,
this include
Steve.
benefits or is this just salary?
That's the information. Salary benefits, it's their whole enchilada, right? Then object code 500,610, general supplies, and this only applies to high school, the middle school, the elementary school, student services, before and after school, technology, and the district. That those combined equals 242,405 as budgeted. I took 10%. I took 10% of it. I'm giving you how I got to where I got. So it'd be a reduction of $24,241. Yeah, continue.
That was all schools.
General supplies. All right, next up. 500,731 is the object code, new equipment. And it applies to, I think, to 28,843 is what it's budgeted for now. And I took 10% of that, which equals 2,884, so $2,884.
Where from, what new equipment from which school? All 3 again?
It's 10% of all the lines that have new equipment, which is the high school, middle school, elementary schools, student services, safety and facilities, nutrition, and I probably shouldn't have taken nutrition, but it's 600. I'll get to that. And then that was it.
Nutrition facility, safety, and then the three schools.
Then this is the one we've been doing historically. I would reduce salary and benefits by 300. And then my next one is electricity. The guarantee that we got from EEI was 116,000.
Sounds right.
So I took 10% of that and said, we're gonna save more
Okay,
because I won't give an explanation. I said I wouldn't give them unless. All right,
So 1,600, you would reduce it?
11,600, we're reducing electricity line by that amount.
11,600.
And then substitute salary for the elementary school, middle school, and high school equals total amount $246,545. I took 10% of that and went, so a reduction of $24,655.
That's across all schools.
The three schools, correct? Okay, now here I'm adding position or adding initiatives. I'm adding the middle, elementary school lead behavior coach, and that is $69,740. So that's a addition, or that's, yes,
60,
addition.
sorry.
69,740, no problem.
Please, sir.
I'm famous for asking 50 times, so. I'm adding one permanent sub as opposed to it was 3, I'm adding 1. So that's $82,630. And then the last thing, or the next thing I have is Title II, the professional development in the amount of 60,000. I'm adding that. And the last item I have is currently the wage pool is 3%. I'm adding 2% in for merit. Because that's what we've talked about in the past doing. So that total would be $84,240. And that's broken out by salary, FICA, and retirement. And that comes out to a reduction of 496, 328 with the subtractions and additions.
A question about the third grade teacher. Now that would just, didn't we have one recently retire?
Yeah.
So it would just be a matter of not hiring.
Correct.
Another one. And current student teacher ratio.
With their 12, 13 kids, that's
So,
brainer.
so moving forward, that'd be what, 16, 18?
Yeah.
I have it.
What the numbers would be?
Would be what it is proposed and then what it will,
Yeah,
under this.
what would it be?
SRO. Third grade would be 16.5 to 1. Fourth grade would go to 19.5 and we're allowed 22 there.
And it's currently what?
It proposed would be 15.6. And then the sixth grade would be 20 to 1. And again, it's 22 to 1 is what our policy states.
That's fourth and sixth grade, not fifth.
What's that?
That's sixth grade, not fifth grade.
Right, if I said fifth grade, I misspoke.
I might have heard you wrong. John, what's the Title II?
What's that, what?
Title II, professional development, what was the amount?
60,000, which is what the administration asked it for. And by my calculations, including because we've reduced the revenue, the numbers that were given tonight, we're budgeting more revenue than we had in the current year, correct? 142,435. So taking all that into consideration, the per 1,000 rate would be 62.5 cents. And tonight it was 99 cents, right, Martha?
Yeah.
Is right before anything was. And
Sorry, so
any other questions I'll, if we want to.
third grade, you said we had, oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. I just.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I struggled this one last year, the SRO. We still haven't hired one. It's still in the budget for next year. Do we still want to have two SROs?
That help us with our bathroom issue.
We
No,
have,
because it's not against the law.
But the ruin,
Yeah, destruction.
They're not gonna stand outside the bathroom and,
No, but somebody patrolling,
well, we have one for that now, and it's not doing a thing. Her office is here, she's stationed here. They're still doing it.
to me, that's a different question.
Doing her job.
I say we should keep the SRO
I'm just,
and we should request the.
I know, you could request, that's already been denied.
What was the rest of that?
Go ahead, John, I'm sorry.
Guess what?
Request.
Yeah.
If we hire a SRO on our own, which is what we had said we wanted to do, we had said we didn't want to have a second one because we felt we didn't need it. We would only have one SRO. The town has said that we're gonna have the second.
Really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Okay. Is there any logic to that? Is that a no?
They feel we need to.
do they get to make that choice?
Yes, they,
They can have a police officer in our buildings without our approval. I'm asking, though, a fight. I'm just asking.
I would say yes.
Okay.
And
I assume that was the case.
I don't know if this is more of a non-public discussion, but if they're gonna mandate that we take one of their officers, we don't have any say in which one it is. Like, if we find that the one that we currently have is or is not effective, do we have any say in that?
Let's just not, let's just,
Well, I'm asking a question, like, if they get to say we have to have one of their officers, do we get any say in which one it is?
I think I'm gonna have a little say in the one they hire. I would be part of that committee. But they haven't hired, they haven't.
Because we would have to hire one through them to
Yes,
actually
it would
be a
be
police
their
officer.
employee, not
Right.
mine.
But their primary thing would be,
Yes,
unless there's a catastrophic event where they need.
absolutely.
Officer or
If
something.
there's a bank robbery, I'm not.
They are,
Can't go.
right, but
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes, they're.
And the goal would be too, that when we were talking about the MOU, that vacation time would be happening when we take vacation. They were only gonna work about 178 days. They didn't have to be here for PD workshop days, but they needed to be here for the first 3 days because there's our mandatory training. And then there's also mandatory training for them. So we worked out the days. I think it was 180 instead of 185. And yeah, I'm struggling with the town this size with two SROs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because the board had said, yeah, we don't need, that was last year.
Yep.
Different board. but I'm
And
just saying,
now, the jerk, we're in January, we're in December now, and it's gonna be January, February before they get through the training and all that, or we even hire someone.
hopefully,
The town.
We are, we're not current SRO. We are not paying for that, but we would pay for one if we hired a new one.
And the current one is how many hours on average a week is she have to, you know, is it as needed or when
Most
they're
days.
free?
She's here pretty much most days.
Yeah.
I would not, I wouldn't say,
All day.
no, all right, so Fridays, she's not here. She's off Friday, so she's here Monday through Thursday,
Oh,
you know?
Just here or she go?
She goes all three.
All three?
Her office is downstairs.
I mean, and she is an officer as well, so she
Yeah.
doesn't just do the school, but her primary thing is around the.
She's working, 99% of the time, this is where she works. And the police department is pretty much fully staffed now.
Mhm.
I'd say it's much better this year. It's been in the past because they're fully staffed. If they were hurting, they would pull her and she would be a patrolman, but this year it's been pretty rare.
I'm gonna just make a note to myself. Having a conversation with other people, so. Yeah. This is a conversation.
I stepped in it again.
Last time I solved your problem. At my cost, but that's it for you. All right. Where are we now?
a couple things. Wage pool, I would agree with John on that one. We talked about
Yeah, basically giving the COLA and then the 2% would be the merit.
We've talked about that for a couple of years now. I would actually take. Third grade, I mean, because we just don't have to hire one of those, there's not a lot of kids in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cut a fourth grade teacher because those are the kids that are just coming into a new school, usually they have the most problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not only that,
I
but if you
wouldn't-
cut one of those teachers, fourth and the fifth, you can't do the looping anymore.
What, they can't do what?
Looping.
Looping.
Sure you can. As opposed to 5 teachers looping, you loop with 4. Fourth would take, next year, 4th grade would stay, those 4 teachers would stay with those students into the next calendar year or the school year. And that's
This
how
wouldn't be
we,
affected this year.
I'm more concerned with the 6th grade teacher because the 5th grade will be 94 next year. So 6th, the year after will be 94, which puts us at almost 24 kids per class.
what,
Right now, 5th grade is projected at 94. And if we cut a 6th grade, then the following year, 6th grade will be 94, but we'll only have 4 teachers, which puts us at 23 per class. I'm thinking 2 years out and to remove a teacher
but,
for a year.
but
it
you have
doesn't-
7th grade teacher, 5 of them the next year. You don't need 5 because they're going to get 80 students. So you take the 7th grade teacher and you move them to where they need to be. So you don't need to worry about that.
Easier said than done with what they're teaching too.
And yet I do, John,
What's that?
sorry.
Got to do with what they're teaching, you know, the subjects and stuff, to go from one grade to another and then be, you know, like pick like a yo-yo, we're gonna send you here, we're gonna send you there.
But again, if we don't have this 5 policy, which was approved at the last meeting, we're adhering to that policy. And they're professionals, they can adapt, right? They're,
It's not enough teaching, we're gonna adapt it. with
So,
behavior
sorry.
Going on in the schools.
Right,
So-
because we already made the motion and it was seconded, so rather than go back and forth, maybe we just, yeah, because he made a motion to cut. And it was seconded.
I said,
Joe second.
Yeah, it was, we started right off the top with the motion.
I was not.
So
You did.
I'm not gonna support a lot of this, so if we could just maybe run to a vote and then we can, and if it goes through, then I have nothing to say, and if it does, then we can talk.
I don't know how you'd possibly cut a secretary from, I don't know what goes on I know what goes on in the middle school and they all have specific jobs. There's a lot of work that each one of them do. And they're always busy, so I don't know how you're gonna cut one, which one do you cut?
Well, that's a different discussion.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but to John's point, he's made,
Well,
Yeah.
and
He's made
again,
some
the logic
choices.
is, again,
Yeah.
if we remember from last year, one of the recommendations Terry had was when we were dealing with a default of, what was it, 6 or 8 100,000
Yeah, yeah.
reduction, we had to come to that point, and where were we gonna,
we had to find a way.
yeah, because the budget committee didn't stand up and do it themselves.
Mm.
One of the ones that Kerry had suggested was that we did reduce the one he suggested for the high school. We didn't do anything to the middle and elementary school.
school, middle school librarian. Middle school is kind of full with, she has classes all the time, right?
She does cover, she doesn't have a scheduled UA, but when a UA teacher's out, they typically have her take those kids and put them in the library and she becomes a sub. So every day, if all the UA teachers are there, no, she's a typical just librarian. But if the health teacher's out or something and they can't absorb, or 2 teachers are out, some days she does have a class.
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, it depends on the UA teacher, yeah.
I mean, more often than not, I don't need a number.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But again, that's the same situation for the general classrooms too.
they absorb. A lot of times we absorb now.
And but again, I didn't,
Oh, they pull a
I
power.
added 1 permanent sub. I just didn't think trying to add 3 was the,
It was good to ask.
Most of the time, parents are pulled to cover the teacher. So their kids aren't getting covered because they're covering the teacher.
I have one question. What is our current default budget? What are you operating under? No, I'm saying this year.
Oh,
This
$32,000.
year.
How far off is this John's proposed budget from what we're currently? Because we get stuck with all budget.
We just 4.99, 79%.
Is what the operating budget is for 26, 27 over our default is 4.79. You want to know what John's is off of that?
Yeah, because
What is that?
another default budget, I want to know what we're gonna have to, what that's gonna look like. Are we gonna look at another 700?
Default budget's gonna look like, yeah. Well, she hasn't had, he hasn't come up.
So it's a,
Again, if you cut a bit.
you cut these teachers, they gotta be cutting the
They
default.
got the default too. It doesn't
So there's
matter.
no reason we can do the default till we get a number here.
The percentage for the.
I mean, we have.
And once they're out of the default, we have to, they become an addition if we end up having to bring somebody else in. We have to add teachers at that point. Right now, if we have a default, they keep carrying forward in the default. If we remove a position, it gets removed from the default. And
Correct.
then next year, if we happen to,
You'd have to.
then we'd have to hire and add someone
They're
else.
not, if you go default again, they're not in.
or if you add like a certain program in there,
Right.
like the after-school program, it's now in the budget, but I've got to subtract it out of the default.
So hypothetically, if we have 5 teachers in the 6th grade, because that's what we were talking about, this year, and we leave it at 5, next year the default counts for 5, the next year default counts for 5, right? If we go to 4, and then the next year is fine for 4, but the year after we need to add, now we have to add to the budget, and if that gets shot down,
You got
we're
it.
back to the default, we're down to 4, even though we might need 5.
Correct.
Just trying to make sure I understand the.
That was not the case. That is the case.
Correct.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. So I know we're looking at next year's budget, but I'm trying to think long-term implications as well.
And I know I mentioned it earlier, I know everybody was here, but as far as the sports go, I mean, here we are, we're paying for, when I know the football team is great, or any other sports we have to pay for, the whatever. So we're paying for that, but we're cutting a possible body that we need to work with the kids. You know what
I'm
saying?
not sure what you're referring to.
Want to go to pay to
Pay
play.
to play.
Well, I'm
Both sides
saying
run
that
it
you're
last.
paying $400 for one football helmet, and that adds up. I don't know how many is on the team.
Well, they buy 6 a year.
It's not $400 a year though.
It's $2,400 a year.
Never mind.
Six new helmets at 4.
6 helmets.
But what is the
Spread out
cost?
over how many?
Right.
7 years.
What does it cost for us to put a kid on the field?
Oh,
That's really what it comes down to. It can't be a lot.
no. No,
Yeah, and you look at it, and then you got like cross-country. It's a uniform.
that's it. Yeah, it's
Over, spread out over 10 years, maybe over how many athletes. But I'm just saying, there are all these different variables.
Variables, yes.
Some are more expensive and some are.
football is the most, football and wrestling are the 2 most expensive sports.
Oh, we don't have hockey anymore. That would have done it.
Well, but yeah, no.
Another thing I
Yeah,
could
hockey.
definitely, we have the salary and benefits, yes, we've done it, but we've come to the point now where $3,000, budget's $3,000 we're projecting right now.
Right, but that had to do with the default and that contracted workers that we hired internally last school year weren't part of the default.
Correct.
The contracted services was, that's why they're like contracted services is like $600,000 over budget. And that takes up that would have been over on the salary side and benefits.
Sorry, Tom. Sorry, so I'm gonna ask again. The proposal's been, the
All right.
motion's been made and seconded, so if we could just do it, because then
All those in
we can either take it or not take it, and if it takes it, then it's done.
Right. So all those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? All right.
So it's 2-3.
Yep.
So
Next.
if it went through, then it doesn't matter, right? So that didn't matter, but then we could not worry
You're
about
right.
it. Yeah, then now we can just start back.
We have to go back to the warrant. Is that what you're saying?
No,
No, we
we start
still-
over with budget cuts again.
Yeah,
Oh,
start over. Should have voted yes. Beth, This is why everybody looks at this night.
you we're gonna be here a long time, man. You didn't believe me.
I texted my wife at 8:15 saying we just started budget. She's like, shut up. I'm like, no. Just started. I have to say, I don't disagree with a lot of this, John. So I don't need, my concerns are not as intense as maybe they have been in past years.
Proposal.
I am concerned with the sixth grade teacher. I am not concerned. I'd rather leave the money in the buses for the athletic buses for the kids, because I know at least if we have the money, we might someday get a freaking driver. Yeah, I know.
When to be honest with you, until you guys decide, and I understand what you did, you went with the cheaper bid, knowing that you were not going to get athletic transportation for the middle school because it was cheaper. Barrington did the same thing. If you want to go with first student, you're going to pay more
But you'll get buses.
transportation, but I guarantee you, you're going to have transportation for the middle school. So there, I'm.
What's the more?
You're not going to get it because with the, I'm just being honest with you.
Because it's not in the contract.
Yeah.
So then
Well, it's
why
in the
would,
contract, but there's no penalty because they couldn't afford the penalties, which I understand. They reduced their penalties, so it's not, they couldn't afford it. And so you guys went with that bid.
they can't fulfill the contract, so they contract penalty.
Yes, yes,
Knowing that they can't fulfill the contract.
yes,
This is because of the bus contract we're in.
yes.
How long does that bus contract last?
How much was the difference between?
Oh, it was substantial.
No, how much?
Oh, my God.
I gotta go back. and
Because
see my bids.
people hear this and say, well, how much was it?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Is it
But I'm- yeah.
$10 or
No, it
is
was
it
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm just, but I'm also, this is.
so it wasn't a decision based on, oh, we were gonna live with the bus, no buses at the middle school. We didn't know that at the time.
Right.
But I don't want the perception out, like, we made a decision based on, we knew the middle school wasn't gonna get buses because we hired
Yeah.
Dale. That's not what happened.
You're not getting buses.
But if the difference is 35 cents on the tax rate,
It was a lot. It was a lot. It was several $100,000.
That was the difference?
Between Dale and first student, it was a lot of money.
No, that was several hundred thousand was the cost, was the
Difference in
difference
the
between
contract.
one contract to the other.
Yeah, it
That's
was
what
a
I'm
lot of
planning.
money.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marjorie, what do you got?
I think we actually filed an extension, didn't we?
We did.
We didn't go out to bid.
Yeah.
We
we did
filed
another
it-
year with,
That's right.
We did.
did a
it
yes.
for years.
We did another.
It was so cheap.
Yeah, so we did an extension.
We were
didn't go
looking
out
at
to
$500,000
bid because-
increase and they basically only did a couple
Yeah,
$100,000. Because everyone else was up, going up $500,000 to
That's what it
3/4 of a
was.
mil.
All right. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a better deal. It is.
It's-
I mean, push comes to shove.
it's up in 26, 27. So we're going out
Oh, God.
next year.
All right. So it won't really. All right. I won't worry about it. God damn.
Question back for non-public.
I know in the past that if we cut $300,000 from our salaries and benefits, it did not get taken off of our default.
Correct.
I believe this year it does.
I
They passed it
don't-
on say about that. Maybe they
I
didn't.
don't believe so. I can double check with Gordon, but I don't think
I
so.
thought they passed it this year.
Yeah, I actually wasn't even worried about that one. That one seemed to be fairly safe just because we haven't been able to hire everybody anyway.
We are pretty much fully
Well, I
staffed
was
on the
gonna-
teacher side.
That's making Terry and I nervous. No.
Years
Okay.
past, before COVID, we would hire everybody and we still be significantly over budget. Because people would replace would be less, or by the time you get them in the door,
The benefits.
the salaries and benefits haven't been used yet. Because we budgeted for the full year, right? So that's how that happens, but year in and year out. We've overspent on salary and benefits. This year is the exception, but the exception is because of the default and we had these people, VCBAs and everybody, but they weren't in the default, so we didn't get them. They're in contracted services.
I also worry about if some people do lose their jobs or whatever, in the private sector, then all of a sudden we have people taking benefits here that they weren't taking before because, well, now they need them. And
hate the budget for what ifs.
Yeah.
yeah, but we've always been several $100,000 over or under. I mean, on the budget on that line, and this year we're way over. I mean, yes, I understand why, well, the salaries and benefits line. And I understand why, but I,
And actually, there is a lot, of John's proposals that are good. There's some of them are just. So how do we fix that?
Make a motion.
Yeah, I'm just looking at numbers, trying to figure them out. What would you be comfortable with on salaries and benefits? If 300 is making you scared, is 200?
that's another question.
Who's scared over there?
Well, Marjorie said
Rick and
that,
I, we've been talking about those cuts and
I'm-
how we're getting to,
Because we typically don't hire new people. First year teachers. We typically hire veteran teachers because we can. So, I mean, when you look at the people we've hired in the last few years, a lot of them have had, 8, 9, 10 years experience. Those are, they're expensive,
But we're replacing year teachers sometimes with
8 and 9
top
years.
step.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a giant.
Yeah, so it's in the first 2 years here, I was like, yeah, I'm fine, but
We had that room.
I'm somewhat nervous now. Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Can we just look at this and, take like a poll vote and say, are you guys happy with the library? And if we get 4 votes saying, yes, we
Well,
can,
that's why I have a
let's
question
just, so we can move this along.
Let's
go line by line.
About.
John basically said,
Middle school.
get rid of a librarian. Are you, so get
No.
4 votes on that? If we got 4 votes?
Well, I have a question. I mean, if we,
I thought there was two.
there's only a half a person here, half a person at the middle school, say.
Yep.
What are they gonna, cause I mean, there are study halls, RAM time here or whatever.
Ran here,
I
yeah,
mean, who's gonna be,
that would have to be absorbed somehow.
Yeah, but you wouldn't need a media specialist to sit here during a study hall, right? I mean, it could be anyone to just.
Yeah,
well,
walk
anyway,
in the room.
Right.
We have staff for study hall. We have a person assigned for study hall, yes. With this being said, I did look up the 306s. It's not defined. You have to have a librarian in the middle and high school, but it's not defined whether it's full-time, part-time. I did do some research. We might get dinged on NEASC here at the high school for our accreditation. Might,
as in accreditation for high school graduation?
to be an accredited high school.
High school.
Well, yeah, that's what well, yeah,
Yeah.
I wrapped it into one thought, but yeah.
Might.
Yeah, I think we're actually up next
I
year, or the year
I
after.
mean, we literally have people who didn't think we've been, as even though we were, and not
Yeah.
accredited, so.
So can we just get clarification on whether, well,
I don't,
one person can fill those roles?
I think, I don't know if we have time, because tonight we got to vote.
So how about this? I'll make a motion that we keep both librarians.
Do this one thing at a time.
If that's what we're gonna have to do, we're not getting.
Bring it up and then you.
I'm just trying to let it, are we happy with it? Do you know if everybody wants?
I mean, that's not even on the table anymore because we voted that motion down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone is saying they like a lot of what John's proposing. I'm trying to figure out what they like.
Someone make a motion.
I just did.
Okay.
So, I mean,
I want to do it one at a time.
I don't really want to either, Tony, but we're not getting anywhere as a group. So,
You got a second?
okay.
Anyone?
There's no second.
Okay. Next.
Do we
I
have
would
to
sit
do
there-
it tonight? Can't we put it off to,
No,
more time?
We have to vote tonight.
Yeah, but the issue is
Okay.
that we've got to get the budget done so that Marjorie can then get it done so that we can get it to the budget committee prior to Thanksgiving.
Can we go through this fast then if we
Well,
want?
no, I mean,
to?
that's not-
100% right.
there is a deadline. And we can't wait for next week because Marjorie can't get it done in a day or
I-
whatever.
I actually, well, we also have to talk about the before school, after school program. I don't think.
I just left it out because it's no money asked. That's a conversation I thought we could have after the fact. Because under the administration's proposal, there's no request for money because they were using outside revenue.
Offsetting.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we were gonna.
So nothing had to be, it wouldn't have, budget. Bottom line, Joe.
Because we'd increase the expenses and then increase the revenue.
We would. But you said we don't have after school in our budget at all, correct? Pat's programming?
It is.
It's the $25,000 for supplies. That's it. And the before school programs in there.
So there,
So if we added the expenses, then I would have to add the revenue to offset it, because that's what.
the after school where they were talking about $347 a month or something.
Yeah.
And that's where the revenue would come, thus offsetting any expenditures.
So I know he's in our before school program for a salary. We have to add for $1. So if we,
Before has money in there too.
no, that's what I mean,
He's
before,
saying
but
that
after
after school.
doesn't, I don't think have any, there's no money attached to it. So we
Okay.
have to just put $1 right there at
Yeah,
least.
I can do that.
That way we could, if we got rid of it. Yeah.
Steve, what was your motion? Nobody seconded?
Nobody seconded, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but again, we have $25,000 in the after-school program. So we don't have to worry about, right?
You don't have to worry.
That's for supplies, though. It's not
It's supplies, so we just gotta make sure.
They're using it for
The
supplies
They
and
get down
not-
to 24,
The tw- the
24,999,
Yeah.
whatever it would be, right?
Yeah.
What kind of supplies are they using?
Food, candy.
So the after school program is
I don't know, whatever.
catered by the food service.
A lot of money.
For after school
Junk,
snacks.
making a mess of the
Well,
cafeteria,
we need to have that in there because if we get the grant, we have to have
something in there.
those in there. That's- We don't.
I was just looking at it as bottom line and then
You were asking,
sorting the details out after the fact. That's on these issues specifically, because before and after school, and I think there might have been one other thing.
Good.
I would actually take the third, fourth and sixth grade teachers, if you. I would actually turn them into long-term subs. Give you 3 long-term subs. I would not take them out of the budget. I would just sit there and make them long-term subs. Not long-term subs, permanent subs, whatever you wanna call
I can't put them in a classroom for more than 10 days. They have to be, because then they become permanent.
Well, that's what he's saying. They
They have
are
10
part of-
consecutive days?
They're
No, but
something
they-
like that. I don't know, but eventually they become,
them. When you ask for permanent subs.
yeah, and they would be bouncing around from room to room.
We people can't do.
Yes, I see what you're saying now.
But what happens
They're
in
part of
2
the
years?
REA.
Yes.
Yeah,
It'd still be part of the REA, but just we
Probably.
bounce around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
What happens when we have a situation where we have to float a teacher? We can't use a long-term sub in that one room. Cause he has to move them every 10 days. You're gonna swap teachers every 10 days?
Part of the REA, it wouldn't matter. They'd be getting paid just like a regular teacher. You can bounce them around wherever the heck you need to bounce them around to. They wouldn't have a specific classroom. And that would alleviate a bit of some issues. And they would actually have a teacher in there that would know what they're doing. I'm sorry. Much as I love being a substitute, it wasn't exactly, teacher hours over here.
Assuming not like, so that wouldn't change their salary or benefits at all?
On my mind.
So you're just saying an even swap, well, wait, the third grade teacher retired, right?
somebody did, yeah.
So that would be keeping the third grade, we'd have to hire somebody.
Keeping a teacher.
A teacher. But in this case, because the actual person has retired, then we'd have to make sure we hired a person that would not be a third grade teacher, it would be a sub,
Permanent sub.
permanent sub.
Their benefits would change because they wouldn't be in the REA anymore. They'd be considered wage pool.
Right.
They're saying
Keep them on it within the,
one way or the other. But those teachers would have to agree to that deal, no? Or can you just say you're a rover now and you do where I tell you to go? If we make that a wage pool, again, you'd have to be careful with the number of days they work in the same position. Right, because then they're just taking someone out of the union to do a union
Yeah,
job.
they're not gonna agree to
Yeah,
that.
that would never fly.
No.
Jeez.
I'll put them in wage pool.
Keep them in the union.
General supplies and new equipment.
Send a message.
No, I love them. Yeah.
We've looked at secretaries before, and then in the elementary school has less students in it. They did before, but they also have the most students inside their office as well. So I don't know if going down to, because there's one secretary usually watching those students. Is it down the hall and the, not exactly, do we have another room here for some students, yeah?
Well, the green room, they don't, you can't keep somebody in the green room, so the secretaries are watching the kids sitting in the office.
Oh, yeah.
Are the high school secretaries surviving? Yeah. And we reduced their workload by 25% of the high school secretaries.
Personnel wise, yes. We didn't
We
reduce,
realigned assignments
yes,
and people are surviving.
yes.
Because we originally heard they potentially would not survive last year. The sky would fall.
Well, that's just the thing that's from the ceiling.
Oh, the tiles?
Yeah, yeah.
I misunderstood.
The darts.
Not if Ethan's strong.
Right.
Again, I'm proud.
Yeah. That's one failure we'll gladly accept.
Ed's gonna get a treat tonight.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I could see if we had a dedicated person at the green room.
Can't hire- yeah, it's hard.
We can't hire anybody and they're
Find
doing a
people
lot
in
of the
middle
work.
school and
And
they're there maybe a couple days and they're, I'm done. Easy answers.
what do you think about that, man? The one,
What do I think about
kind of
what?
one either in the middle school or the elementary school. Sorry, you're gonna get asked these questions.
I mean, is it ideal? No. Can we can make anything work, but it's not ideal, you know?
Was.
I go back to, town meeting last year and, everyone stood up and that was that,
Well, that didn't exactly work in our favor.
Well,
I mean, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
But it didn't
Yeah.
really do us much good.
no,
At the deliberative, you mean?
It had in the past, but last year.
I mean, to put $1 million back in our budget.
And we didn't.
and it went to default. So it didn't help at all.
We voted against it.
But the difference was only like 300,000 or 400,000 between what we were asking for and the default.
Right, but before that money was added in, we
They
got the operating budget.
Proposed.
Yeah, they put 900,000 back in.
Yeah, we put the 900,000 back in. It didn't pass. Well, it didn't pass, but the default was closer to that number that we wanted.
Yeah.
Than what the cut was. We would still have been 600,000 short from the default.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, that was last year.
Last year, yep.
The problem is I like all the stuff you added. I'm trying to find a way to get that fit. All right, so, I'm just gonna make the motion. I don't know if it'll go anywhere. So I'm gonna make a motion. I wanna make sure I do this properly. Oh God, I gotta do the whole number. All right, sorry, give me a number in a minute. I think the total is only 6,300 short of the actual budget. So I don't know if that's, 328127669. 35. I will make a motion to make the budget $32,806,434.
$2,806,000.
400.
Oh, yeah, I had somebody coughing over.
saw hard.
That's okay.
Say it again, for
Coffee McGee, 32.
Yeah.
806 434.
I can go to.
now you can die.
That's McGee.
Jesus.
And that would leave all of the proposals John wanted to add and replace the librarian, the 2 teachers, the assemblies.
Thanks.
Say that again.
So the librarian, the 4th and 6th grade teachers, and the assemblies, which is only $3,000, for 302,945. Added back in to the 792,937, which pretty much, which means a reduction of 489,992. But John's proposal adding 496,832 is only
Time out,
You
time out.
you were
time
right
out.
about.
I'm just
Increase the budget.
What are you cutting?
Yeah.
6,300.
No, no.
I need actual
need-
things.
Oh,
I'm gonna stop you for 1 second, Steve. I will probably say no to this because now you're cutting teachers, which will not be in the default budget.
no, I'm adding the teachers back in.
Teachers back in.
You just said you were cutting.
No.
Third grade.
The third grade teacher retired.
I'm taking a job from somebody essentially is what you're getting.
Right, I'm not taking someone off a position. I'm trying to compromise a little. So in this case, it's we're not letting someone go.
Right.
So,
What are we getting rid of? Make it the easiest way.
okay, we will not rehire the third grade teacher. We will get rid of the buses, to the way John put it, not get rid of,
Buses,
reduce the
buses?
athletic buses.
6,500.
Put the money back into the assemblies,
I just want cuts.
reduce one of the secretaries. The supplies, the new equipment, salary and benefits, electricity, and the substitute salary. All of those reductions would stay.
And you're gonna add,
The behavior coach, the permanent sub, the Title II, and the wage pool.
And that ends up being a cut.
It's like $6
I
grand.
feel like we added more stuff than we took out.
You can get
Maybe
what you
accounts for all those. I'm trying.
The
to see
librarian was, wait, which ones? The ones we're cutting and those we're adding?
everything, all the cuts.
The cuts.
Yeah.
58,941.
Yep.
5,500 for the buses.
That was 6,500.
Yeah, it's 65.
Oh, sorry, 6,500 for the buses, sorry.
keeping the assemblies.
61,173 for the secretary. 24,240 for the supplies. 2,884 for the new equipment. 300,000 for salary and benefits. 11,600 on the electricity. 24,654 for the substitutes.
and Steve, you're keeping a librarian or you cutting a librarian?
Keeping the librarian.
And third grade teacher gone, but fourth and fifth,
Fourth and sixth would stay. And I put the money back into the assemblies for the middle school. It's such a small amount. I felt like,
The athletic buses would stay at 6,500. You cut that or no?
Yeah,
well, I mean, if it's not gonna make much of a difference with our
Just add-
contract, yeah. Yeah, I left that cut in. It doesn't, if it's not gonna help, it's not gonna
and
help.
then you added,
I put the librarian back in. The fourth, and-
technically, we didn't, if we're not,
oh, the adding of the same ads that John had.
It's the
The behavior coach for 69,740. The permanent sub for 82,630.
title two.
Title II for 60 and wage pool at 84,240.
Those are staying.
So now you're keeping that.
Keeping
Now
those.
you're keeping the third and fourth grade teacher, but you're also.
No,
keeping
third
the
grade.
sub.
No.
Third grade
So
teacher's
it's
gone.
Fourth and sixth grade teacher, and now you're putting back in the permanent sub too. It's kind of what you just said, I think.
so your reduction is 193,383.
And you were cutting general, we're getting rid of the supplies and stuff like that. Is that?
No, if I did the math anywhere near correct, John's original cuts were 792,937. I put 302,945 of that back in. And then the ads were, oh yeah, so I guess I did.
So I only took what you just gave me, so I took the reductions and then the additions, and I came up with 193,383.
That's the reduction or the add in. What was,
I got a simple one if you want.
Oh,
I have so many numbers over here right now.
Reduction from 119,000?
I didn't, when you're saying add something back in for John,
He's wrong. His
I
numbers are
didn't,
wrong.
I
I
didn't,
think my numbers are way wrong, sorry.
I didn't reduce it. So I basically took everything that you just gave me, the 58,941 for the third grade teacher,
All of those,
the middle school assembly, the secretaries, the supplies, the electricity, the salaries and wages, the sub salaries, the new equipment lines. I took that, which gives us a reduction of, now this is just from the presented budget, so that's a reduction of 489,993. Then I added in your elementary school lead behavior coach, your permanent sub, your Title II PD, and the wage pool, which was 296,610.
okay.
So the difference is 193,383. Does that sound right to everybody?
386. The last three.
383.
Thank you.
I think I wanted to add the money for the assemblies back in, but it's just a $3,000 difference. So instead of 489, it should be 486.
Yeah, because you cut the
I
buses.
think it would make
and
more
said the
sense, since
assemblies
he
are
said
only
we're not gonna get a
2,000.
middle school bus, even if we have money to put that.
The 3,000 for the
Assembly.
assemblies.
I think he left that cut.
So I left the budget, the buses I left cut, the way John said it.
Yeah.
I
Kevin
wanted
wanted,
the assembly money back in.
Assemblies are,
I didn't account for the assembly money
Which is what, two?
because we're not adding it back in because they
Oh,
didn't.
you just didn't cut it.
on,
Okay.
Right.
right, John?
Then yes,
Okay.
because so it's a reduction of, what'd you say, 193?
193, 383.
How much do we spend historically on those assemblies?
At the middle school.
Around the five or?
If I go
Um,
budget spreadsheet,
Just give it to you.
I mean, I'm not gonna die on a $3,000 hill. I just thought it was nice for the middle school. It's
Oh, yeah.
$5,000. It's not a small amount, but it gives them something to look forward to.
Yeah, but I mean, if historically they spend 25.
I think
Unless they have
Pete said
plans.
last year, not Pete, Tom said last year, they brought in
Here we go.
cycle percussion. I think it was like 1,500 for one visit, wasn't it?
20, in fiscal year 23, we spent
one-
almost 5.
Oh, yeah.
Fiscal year 24, we spent 2,050. Last year, we spent nothing.
And how much did we spend at the element, are we budgeting in the elementary school this year for it?
I don't think we budget for, I was gonna say, we don't budget for elementary school assemblies.
PTO
Yeah.
pays for
And what
most of it.
about the high school? Very small.
I'm looking for your hands. You're gonna tell me 0.
No, it's not. It's like,
Assemblies, like,
So we spent 468 last year and nothing in the years before.
right, well, what did we budget,
Oh, that I don't know, Joe.
right? That's
500,
almost
323.
what I compared it to.
500, 23.
1,000.
Okay.
We budgeted 1,000 last year. We spent 468 in 24, 25. So that was my logic. Right, wrong, or different.
So I'm just gonna put it out there. I won't support it because you've already added $296,610 between the default budget and our regular budget.
No, we went down 190,
A default budget you've added.
because of all the stuff
The
that,
stuff you added. It's 200.
'cause I left all it,
We don't have
John's
a default
answer.
budget for this stuff.
It doesn't matter right now. If we,
the
Now-
presented budget, yeah.
the way the budget is presented, we just put there's $296,610 between what our regular budget would be and what our default budget would be right off the bat.
We don't know what the default budget is, though.
Doesn't matter. I'm
It's
saying,
actually, it's not that much, Joe, because I did cut 193,000 off the top.
I guess I don't.
So it's 103,000 more.
regardless of what it is.
no, because you added the behavioral coach, which I'm sorry, we're adding more special education and we're gonna start taking away from.
All I'm saying is, the cuts that Marjorie and I just went through, take 196,000,
I understand where the cuts, what you're.
so we went below the budget by 193,000, added the 296, which only brings us up 103.
No, because the default budget will be at least. Okay, actually, at least $296,610 less than the budget you just presented. Right now, if we take today's numbers, right now,
Oh, I see what you're saying. So if we get a default and we cut,
it's at least two, plus you cut the third grade teacher, right? I didn't even add that in there, so now you're well over 300.
well, I didn't cut it out.
Again, it's probably because we have excess teachers, according to our own policy that we approved just last meeting.
Again,
And
are we
if
just
we're budgeting to default, then I think we're doing our business wrong.
Well, I made the motion and nobody seconded it, so it doesn't really matter. So if it's a different I hear what you're saying, Joe. I was trying to find a middle ground, but I would rather keep all the teachers too. I was trying to add some of the new stuff in, but I would be just as okay with not having the sub and the behavior coach if we could keep a permanent teacher. But
I just can't see. I mean, again, we're gonna rob Peter to pay Paul and because now we're taking away. What teachers more? Because again, they're not gonna.
One.
no, just one, Joe.
One, the third grade that's
We
retiring.
still gotta make the $296,000 up afterwards if we get a default.
I don't understand what you're saying. I cut 193,000 off the budget as presented.
Correct, and that's gonna be cut off the default budget, except for maybe.
So, but that's not 296,000, that's that is,
Everything you add on is not in the budget. Every single thing that you added on, the behavioral coach, the
but the total dollar amount over the default will only be 100. So whether or not the money is allocated the way I suggested it, it's only 103,000 more than the default, not 296,000 more. Because I took 193 off, added 300 in.
it doesn't matter what you add in or what you take off. What you take off comes out of both sides.
The only thing that he cut in the default I see is the third grade teacher. What else is he?
But it was the initiatives that he added in,
Huh?
right?
The initiative that he added in,
The $100 and
Those
some
don't
thousand
go on
dollars.
regular True, those don't go on the default.
No,
So that's $296,610, not including the third grade teacher that he cut. Because that comes off the default budget as well as our own budget.
The default budget is just a number right now.
That's what I'm-
Right, that's 32,812,000, assuming that that's correct, just for shits and grins, right? So if that's the actual default, when we're done,
no, it's gonna be less than that.
I know.
It's going,
Right now,
gonna be pretty close to that because once again, those related services are gonna be high.
And maybe my math isn't mathing, but this is what I understood.
Contractor services, I'm sorry.
So if we're at 32,812, just for the sake of easy math, whether it's the absolute proper number or not, and I take 193 off of that for the cuts that we just talked about. That number, the default is still 193 more than what I'm suggesting. I'm saying, let's cut some stuff off the budget, but add some other stuff in to the tune of an extra $100,000. So the default budget would only be 100,000 short of what I'm saying. The numbers still shift by $300,000,
everything that you added in is not in the default.
but I took 200,000 out of the default. So if I take 200 out and add 300 in,
And one of,
it's only 100 more.
one of those is a teacher at 58,941 automatically comes.
The way I understand what we've talked about in the past is, at the end of the day, we can figure out where the money gets pushed and pulled and who gets moved where. We're talking about a dollar amount. I'm saying these are the things. At the end of the day, we don't have to do these things. It's just a dollar.
Well, you have to do something if you don't have the money.
I think we're splitting hairs, but it's,
If you're 355,000 or, and I understand that we have we're gonna play with numbers because
we don't know.
one person, in my mind, we should just keep them on there. It's a better number anyhow. To deal with it, taking them off again, putting them in the default, it's ludicrous out there.
Third grade teacher is retiring, so we're not putting anybody back in her place.
Right, it's still.
But if we cut it-
Default.
Yeah, but Joe's point is if we cut the position from the budget, then it's gone.
On,
And we can't put somebody back in there until we add it into the budget again, which means an increase.
Unless we have extra money. We don't have to add the position and we just have to have the money to pay the person.
Which is still leery about 300,000 or
Well, say,
especially when they said that they're a little bit iffy already about the 300,000.
I was doing fast math, so it doesn't sound like it's gotten a second, so,
I guess you're up now.
yeah.
redo the thing so we can vote on it again. I don't know.
I know, I made a motion and nobody seconded it, so,
I didn't hear you make the motion.
You made a motion.
yeah,
You can second.
like 15 minutes ago.
Second.
Yeah, maybe even longer.
It's been a minute.
I don't know, with all this back.
Again, if we get stuck with a default budget again, Liz,
We'll figure it out.
All right,
Well, yeah, but-
Beth seconded that motion. Did everybody remember what it was?
I'm discussing. it.
No.
Okay.
but-
I know we can figure it out, but it's gonna be at the cost of regular education.
I have a feeling people are gonna vote no anyway, so let's just vote.
Yeah.
Can I
All those-
change one thing?
Sure.
The cost for the third grade teacher,
It's
can we change that amount?
gotta be more than 58. I was thinking that's
Thank you.
remarkably low. And 80 seems high for the sub.
Yep. So because I was not aware that that person was absolutely retiring
Mhm.
until after the budget process was done, so I do have a figure for that.
So it's like 70.
You know, you
So
still-
I
we paid
have-
so much for a sub. Permanent.
128, 375,
Been here for years.
if that will
I was
help.
like, wait a minute, that seems low.
This wasn't a first year, but
When you had asked me that
No, I-
earlier, I had chosen somebody else because I had already cost that person out. So I don't think I think the lines were crossed a little bit. Sorry.
That would have added another 100.
but I thought.
Oh,
when we
yeah.
know somebody's retiring, we don't budget them at that salary, we budget them.
I didn't know that person was retiring.
Okay.
We get
I
10.
don't want to belabor it, so I'm fine.
All right, so that was what now? From 59 to
128, 375.
128.
128,375.
So now I'm thinking that's,
Oh, I bet I put a motion out, they'll be happy to take the next one, because it would just be a little higher.
well, I'm thinking that,
that again.
I mean, at some point, if you were looking to keep 8
So do you have a motion?
with that new
We got a
number,
second already.
Oh, God, yeah. So let's vote. Let's just get the vote over.
all those in favor? Those opposed?
There we go.
Okay.
Defeated.
on.
Yeah,
Motion, who's making it?
All right, I'll make a motion that, I'll go back to everything John did with that new number of 128, whatever.
I didn't get to speak.
And, oh, you want to speak? Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I said I was gonna make a motion.
I withdraw my motion. Go ahead, Joe.
I'll make a motion for a budget of $32,760,754.
I'm sorry.
Add in the.
Slow down.
$32,760,754.
Thank you.
754, Joe.
Correct.
Thank you. Can I get a motion? I'm second before we go on.
I'll second.
We added in the wage pool at 84,200. We subtract 11,600 for the electricity. 24,655 for the substitutes, and 150,000 for salary and benefits.
So no,
That's it.
That's it.
that's it. Okay.
And that puts us what?
32,760.
32 million.
32 million, 760,000.
It's a reduction of about 80.
What's your reduction, is it, Joe?
60?
2, 760.
62,000.
I have 101,660.
Well, that's fine. Cheap.
From 32,812
32,812 plus
minus 769 minus
Yeah, it should only be about 60.
32,7.
the addition of 84,240.
Well, if we go by if you go by
One,
38,812 number. which is
32,812. Yep. I added the wage pool for 84,240.
Getting it.
Subtracted electricity of 11,660. General supplies 24,240. And salaries and benefits of 150.
Get a reduction of 52,015.
101,660.
I go by your numbers, so.
What am I?
Wait, you said wage pool? He added
Addition.
wage pool for 84,
Yep, that's an addition.
subtracted the 1160 for the 11,600 for the electricity.
Yep.
24,655 for the subs.
24,240.
No, 24,655.
655,
In addition,
no,
Subtraction.
reduction.
24,665.
For 655.
So that was the subs.
And then minus 150,000 for salary and benefits.
Now I have 102,075.
I got 52,050.
my God.
Yeah, I got 52,015.
Jesus.
You had 32,812,769.
What was your?
The new number is 32,760,754, which is a difference of 5215.
Your reduction thing.
Yeah, but when I add up your numbers that you just gave me, I'm not getting that. I'm getting 02075 is what I'm saying.
Did you change the number for the teacher?
He didn't say a
You didn't cut a
teacher.
teacher.
He didn't say a
Did I
teacher.
hit the wrong button? Hold on a second, I can go back.
You didn't cut a teacher.
No, I was going by the numbers were 58, now it's 120.
$32,812, 769. Yeah, which is our starting point, plus 84,240. Gives you $32,897,009. Minus $11,600. Oh, you know what? No, the way it does it. And then minus $24,655 is $32,860,
Yep.
$754, and then minus another $150,000.
Yes, God. Joe, did you add in
Oh,
any,
sorry.
any of the initiatives?
I know, I know what happened. You have 102,000.
No, cause I had 100,000 in there before instead of 150. I changed it. I didn't change the number. That's my fault. So 32, 710, 754.
710.
694?
I know that's missed.
That's it. Joe,
If you really want 694.
did you add any of the initiatives in?
I did. No, I did not.
Okay.
Well, the initiative, keeping the teachers, the initiative would be.
No, I'm talking about the ones that the administration has proposed. I was asking, had you done that? No.
That, the before school, after school, all that.
No, that's.
So the new number then, Joe, for you is 32, 710, 694.
We'll go with.
So can somebody give me the number?
32,710,694. That's what you said.
694. Thank you.
With John on this one, we're gonna go with Marjorie's numbers.
Did you check the wage pool? I want to make sure
I have not had a chance to check that yet.
if you could check that. That was gonna be one of my, if we got close. And I had a strong feeling we weren't gonna get close, so. We should. Fuel.
Does Joe need to remake that motion with the amended number?
Amended, that's all.
Sorry.
Whoever seconded it would have to be okay with
Yeah.
it.
Did anyone second it yet?
I did. Just to move the process.
Come up with 32, 710, 754.
Moving on. Marjorie,
With a $20, the
It's like 150.
$60.
All right, I will verify with you one more time the numbers, just to make sure I'm not. Almost there. Okay. The budget was 32, 812, 769.
Yep.
Right? We added in the wage pool of $84,240,
Yep, which gives you,
32, 897,009.
Yep.
Okay, we subtracted the electricity of $11,660.
oh, you added another $60 to it. I had 11,600.
I had it as 11.6 too. I'm like, wow, I just got the same number Joe has, but that's the $60.
$116,000. He took 10%.
Would be 11,600.
Oh, yeah.
The decimal.
I am so sorry.
Scannily.
Always works.
There it
One
is.
spot, excuse me.
32,710,754.
And my emotions. 32,010,754 dollars.
I will amend my second for that.
Any more discussion?
I don't know.
All right. All those in favor,
Aye.
or those opposed?
Yeah. So.
That's 3 to
Does it
2.
matter if the 84,
Yeah.
40?
What?
I was trying to calculate the wage pool.
Doesn't matter because it's not in there. Thank you.
Right.
Somebody give me what the number ultimately ended up at so that I can look like I know what I'm talking about.
32,710,754.
754 again. Thank you.
Yep.
Again. Well, I'd asked about it before because I think I got it wrong the last time. When I was starting to write. Thank you. Now we have to go on to the warrant articles, is that right?
Correct. All right, so we drafted 2 warrant articles for your consideration this evening. We are still awaiting the opinion of our legal counsel on those, so to understand that the wording may change. Click here to see the drafts.
We just spent 2 hours and cut the budget 100,000. That's what we did.
Did you expect anything
Nice.
else then?
Well, at least I expected an attempt.
So, draft CRF warrant articles, shall the school district vote to establish an elementary school capital reserve fund under the provisions of RSA 35:1 for the purpose of new construction of an elementary school or refurbishment / renovation of the existing Lamprey River Elementary School and to raise and appropriate up to blank to be placed in said fund with such amount to be funded from the June 30th year-end unassigned fund balance available for transfer on July 1. And further to name the Raymond School Board as agents to extend from said fund. Then the other one is, shall the school district vote to establish curriculum capital reserve fund under the provisions of RSA 35-1 for the purpose of purchasing curriculums and associated diagnostic tests and to raise appropriation blank to be placed in said fund and further to name the Raymond School Board as agents to expend from said fund. Yes, sir. Oh, so John, I'm not in charge. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah. I have a question about, or I would ask that on the second one, we remove purchasing curriculums. It's the diagnostic test that we're talking about, correct?
Yeah.
And not curriculums. Okay. Because the curriculums we're trying to put in the budget, and it'd be hard to explain to the voters that we're asking for curriculums and we want it also in the budget. It was only the diagnostics that we were looking at. And to me, the amount would be, unless it's changed to 25,000 for 5 years, we'd be at 125, right?
For now, yeah, that'll cover it. We might, I mean, 5 years, we might have to add a little bit to it, but that would,
We could
that would
adjust,
cover a chunk of it.
could adjust that. So I'll make a motion that we approve approve the warrant article of shall the school district vote to establish a diagnostic capital reserve fund under the provisions of RSA 35:1 for the purpose of purchasing diagnostic tests and to raise and appropriate $25,000 to be placed in said fund and further to name the Raymond School Board as agents to expend from said fund.
Just voting on diagnostics. Right?
The second one.
Second. Okay, sorry.
Take one at a time.
Yeah, no, just making sure I understood.
Tony, Joe's got the question.
Joe. What's gonna come up, especially at the CIP. Can we, I mean, it's something that, don't they have an option where you could just put it in the budget, pay for it every year? Instead of doing this every,
Yeah, like 50,000 a year across however many years,
Yeah, I mean-
break it up into however many years the cycle is, so
it's
you
not like
have
we're
a
constantly
constant.
needed, but that way we put it in the budget, not on another warrant out.
Well, we ain't doing that this year. But yeah, we could. We could put $50,000 in or whatever, 25 or 27 or 28,000, whatever, every year for a diagnostic and just pay them every year. Cause I think that's what we had chatted about, do for
Yeah,
reading and math when it comes up, just 30 grand, 30
It's a
grand.
lump sum every 4 or 5 years or whatever it ends up being. You can pay it annually, right?
Yes.
I just think that's a better way of doing it, that's all.
I agree.
Why is it a better way? I don't under.
Because it's, okay, one without asking, it would be, I'm looking, we'll sit there and say, it's in the budget every single year, it's in the budget, it's in the default budget. Instead of us relying on another, curriculum capital reserve fund to possibly get voted down.
Well, I
We
mean,
don't have the money anyhow.
we would have to have extra money to put it in there to begin with too, right?
Correct.
Like if we don't have money left over.
Right
we
now, it
can't-
doesn't look like we have any money to put in it. So. By the way, do we have to come up with a pecking order? I mean, they got the.
Yes.
the
Yes,
pecking order.
if we have multiple on CRFs, then yes.
Whatever's first gets.
Gets funded first.
So I'll retract my motion. If we want to put it, that means we need to add it to the budget we just approved.
No, because I've paid for it for 5 years. I paid for it for 5 years. Oh, good. That's what's in the budget this year.
Starting next year, we would want
Well,
to.
in 5 years, we got to put $25,000 in the budget. We won't have a savings account now.
What we tried to, what we were doing with the CRF, or the intent was we would raise so that we wouldn't take it out.
In 5 years, we would have the money to pay for
For
it.
me, it was for this year.
Oh, well, the 125,000 is already in the budget for.
To me, it would be used for the curriculum, which is what it's supposed to.
Okay.
Well, that's in my mind. Now, that might not be the board.
Okay.
But it's already in the budget, right?
The $125.
$125,000 in the budget this year to pay for the diagnostic.
Okay.
We were not going to do anything else because
Right.
we didn't have the money. We couldn't look at social studies. We couldn't look at science. We couldn't look at anything. We had to buy the diagnostic this year.
How about, can we, a one-time sale for you, Terry?
Yeah.
Would we be able to do 25,000 for the diagnostic and 100 for curriculum?
I'd have to call them and ask them. They charge me. I'm sure in my mind, it's going to be slightly higher than 25,000.
But I'm just using,
I understand. I
I
can
paid
reach
for
out
the
to them.
diagnostic this year out of the 125 and whatever's left curriculum. I just don't want to shortchange curriculum.
I can have Josh or I can call her tomorrow.
Okay.
Get a yearly price. If I was to just pay for 1 year, what would the price be?
Well, that being said, if we're paid for 5 years, wouldn't we want to start saving that next year? So that when the
goal was
5 years runs out, we have.
That's what I thought the goal was, is to, in 5
If we-
years.
If we're gonna put it in the budget, which
Yeah.
is what Joe is
Yeah.
suggesting, we would just start this year by taking it, in my mind, taking it from the 125. But if after goes to curriculum, which you folks have been recommending for us.
Yep.
And then going forward, we've got to be cognizant of maybe having a line for diagnostic.
So yes, so I just got to find the price.
I'm glad you moved further away.
Yeah, the child.
I'm just teasing. You guys, the two of you,
So I guess the question is, are we okay with it in the operating budget?
I'm good with it. I mean, it's only gonna come up every single
That way,
Yeah.
we just skip all this and we don't have to make anything else at this point.
Now,
Now,
do we want to know what that would be annually before we make that decision, or do we kind of have an idea and don't? Are okay
well,
with it?
Terry's comfortable in the sense that it's not gonna be significantly more than 25. And by that, I mean,
30
it's not
grand.
gonna be 50,
I would hope not.
right? You know? Cause then you go, well,
Yeah.
so then we would
Make a
put it in
different
the,
decision.
Then we can come back and look at this one again if we need
Yeah,
to.
I should have an answer by Wednesday, or
then we,
December 23rd, excuse me.
Sorry.
Or December 3rd, sorry.
so we'd put it, so we were paid up for 5. We'd put it in the budget.
A dime yet. I'm going to
It's
pay
in the
for
budget
5.
It's in the budget for,
You paid for 5.
well, it's in the budget for 5. That's what I was thinking. So,
That's what-
but
In this budget, we just passed.
by Joe's proposal, we just put a line item in and rather than pay a 5-year, we just pay year for year. Okay,
Yeah, we just
Alright.
break it out in installments.
yeah. That makes more sense.
So
Or not.
we're ready for the next one now?
Yep.
Okay.
I do have a question.
We're backwards on this.
Yeah.
Tony, feel free.
Sorry.
So I like the idea of this, but the recommendation we got is significantly different than what's on the draft. So if we wanted to talk about the two versions,
The recommendation he got was to put it in the, even for the next one article you're talking about here?
When we're talking about for the reserve fund for the elementary school?
yeah,
Well, the attorney is just saying you have more flexibility if you just keep it as generic. But we specifically, and the attorney wasn't aware of this, we had talked last meeting, which was, well, I think it's better for us to say specifically it's for the elementary school, which is what the CIP committee recommended. And that is where we're intending this money to go towards.
right.
if down the road we don't use it, 5 years, whatever, 10 years, it can be brought in front of the voters to either shift it to another fund or return it to the taxpayers.
But his advice was to not hamstring us with only being able to spend it on the elementary school, which is what we want to do with it.
We want to hamstring
So
ourselves.
it's not going to hurt us. That's what we wanted to be able, so people can say, well, what if you take it and spend it on another school or do something else with it? No, it's going to the elementary school.
Tony's amphitheater.
Not yet.
Yeah, because the one that they suggest is essentially just a slightly expanded version of the one we already have. And he does talk about how they could overlap. That was my question. Like, it seems like it's almost the exact same warrant article as the one we have, but includes the building.
Well, I think the key here is that we're designated money specifically to the elementary school with the wording, the specific word. That's the intent.
Yeah, right.
For
And his
new
advice
construction,
was, yeah,
which is the one we have,
Yeah, the one that's,
for new construction of elementary school or refurbishment renovation of the elementary school, where the others is for district-wide, and this is only
it covers us both angles, whatever we want to do.
newer.
Jim's got her hand up.
And I'm okay.
I do. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
So you are seeing that second warrant article where we did go back to the attorney and say, no, we're looking for this to be just the elementary school. And so he came back and gave us a revised warrant article, which does, we changed it to the elementary school. And he said, yes, that's fine. If you go further down that page in green.
oh, okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Sure.
Yes, thank you.
Are we ready? You ready, Tony?
I believe so, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we move the warrant article, shall the school district vote to establish an elementary school capital reserve fund under the provisions of RSA 35:1 for the purpose of new construction of an elementary school or refurbishments / renovation of the existing Lamprey River Elementary School, and to raise and appropriate up to, oh, whoops. We hadn't discussed the amount yet, I don't. How much do we want
I
to?
thought we did last time.
Sorry.
20 last, one of the meetings before, didn't we see like 25,000 or something?
No, we had, more than that, it was just.
250,000 at least.
150,000?
Was it 250?
It was 250. You guys had ranges of 250 to 4.
Okay.
I put in the appropriate up to 250,000 to be placed in said fund, with such amount to be funded from the June 30th year end undesignated fund balance available for transfer on July 1st. And to further to name the Raymond School Board as agents to expend from said fund.
Question.
All right.
So let's look at the second one Jen just pointed out, and it has a distinction in there, and I just don't want us to get bit in the butt if we don't have this distinction in. The version they have is almost exactly like the one you just read, but it includes and grounds, construction, maintenance, and improvement capital reserve fund for the provisions of purpose of funding and additional improvements or new construction of the elementary school's building and grounds, including the costs of design and engineering for these purposes, which we've already done, but it's the and grounds part that
Yeah, the great thing, Steve, the attorney will look at all this before we put it on the warrant. If they have suggestions, we can then take it up then. So in my mind, if we need to correct something on this one or any other one, we have time to do so.
I guess what I'm saying is I already see something that he suggested that I'd like to correct, which is to include the words and grounds for elementary school.
I guess, like, what does that cover?
Yeah.
Well, if we decide we want to put a playground on the elementary school and we have designated funds for a building and not a playground, then people will come in and say, you can't use money on a playground because you didn't say you were going to use it for the grounds.
I will say
Say
that this will
building
take up
grounds.
a minor portion of whatever the final cost is of that elementary school. And we'll say, okay, we'll give you that. All that money will go to the building and we still have tens of millions of dollars to deal with, to put to something else.
All I'm saying
The
is,
point is that this specific warrant article is not for a playground, it's for a new building.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
I
So we
understand,
can't, we don't want to be able to use the money for anything. That's the intent.
Well,
Well,
there's grounds in it.
but then does that mean landscaping for the ground? Listen, we had a hair split conversation last year with the budget
I
committee
would think
and the
that
CIP committee.
bulldozing trees is part of the process of building the place. I don't. think that
I'm
would
just
be-
saying, we can protect ourselves by adding the words and grounds from the hair split conversations in 2 years. That's,
I don't think it's
Bless you.
necessary, but if everybody else feels that.
that's my only concern. I don't want to have the conversation we had last year.
If we have, like, $25 million in this thing.
Right.
I ain't gotta worry about it right now.
And I don't think anybody's gonna be here if you got 25 million. That is, let's see, how many years is that? 4.
Oh, God, 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
That's what I was getting, yeah, 40 years. Before you have.
250,000.
Yeah.
At 250, yeah. All right. If no one else is worried about it, then I'm fine. I just figured I'd bring it up. All right, so motioned and seconded.
All those in favor?
I-
Yeah, so
What do we got left?
Do we have to do the second reading?
we have to? No,
I'm just looking at time.
no. I think the only thing you might want to do is your building committee.
Yeah, because I'm running into, the committee's running into problems.
We don't have to do the.
We do have to do non-public.
We do have to
There was a non-meeting. I didn't know anything about the non-meeting.
Jen had sent an email
send
out
email.
Friday, so.
Oh, I
Okay,
forgot about it.
that's all right.
Anyways,
So can we table policy?
and strategic plan?
Yeah, that's fine. I can live with that.
We do need to do,
That the building,
the building committee membership needs to be taken care of.
let me talk.
Yeah, sure.
All right. The building committee currently has 6 voting members. I'm one of the 6. There are 5 other members. Members that we appointed hasn't been, had told us that that individual would only be able to attend if we were to do it remotely. And we said, the board had said we could do that. She has not attended any of the meetings, which is, we haven't been had quorums because of it, in part, many times. So I'm asking if we can remove the individual from the committee so that we have a quorum of 5, voting members of 5, a quorum of 3 as opposed to 4, which it is now. And we are running into problems of being able to minor issues, but at this point, like approving minutes and closing the meeting,
So you're not looking to remove her and add someone else. You want to reduce the number to 5.
remove that individual. Because we've been doing this for what, 2 months?
Yeah, Jen can't get in touch with her. Not responding to any emails.
I'll make a motion to.
You want the name?
Do I?
You want the name? Because I think we have to use.
Yeah, we can. Yep.
Yeah.
Karen Matthew Johnson.
Make a motion to remove Carol Matthew Johnson off the LRES building committee.
And did you say?
Karen or Carol? He said
It's Karen.
Karen.
Sorry.
I
Okay.
think
I thought you said
I
Carol.
heard Carolyn,
Oh,
and I think you did too,
I heard Carol.
Karen Matthew Johnson.
which is fine.
Yeah.
I'll second.
All right, discussion. Do we have plans to replace this member with somebody or? Is this just removing the
To
person?
me, at this point, we're this late in the game. It's up to the board.
It is what it is. Do you feel that it's necessary? Can the board function? I mean, it has been
We've
apparently
been
without them.
functioning without that individual.
Yes, can't vote.
If they weren't there, they couldn't vote anyway, so.
Right.
It doesn't leave you with an even number of voting members, does it? Okay, that's good.
Before we were at 6.
So this helps. Any potential issues?
Yeah, any potential.
All right, all those in favor?
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why sign up?
There was issues.
Situation
I won't get
change.
into them. but
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
You between that appointment.
People start out with good
You mean to
intentions.
do the minutes?
No. Manifest.
Want to go into non-public now?
Yeah, we gotta do this. and
Oh,
then-
manifest, sorry.
I'm looking for them. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Payables tonight, $1,027,447.34. Payroll, $532,383.35 for a grand total of $1,559,830.69. And they've all been signed. Thank you.
Thanks, Martin.
All right, anybody got anything they want to throw out there before we go to non-public?
I have 45 minutes. I'm kidding.
I'll make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A. :3, Roman numeral 2A and C.
Second.
Discussion. Before we go, I just gotta put out a quick Thanksgiving dinner here. There'll be a sign-up sheet. You can find it wherever. There's a terrible explanation, but. Call for the vote. Steve?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Yep.
Bess?
Yep.
Joe?
Yes.